We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Ooh, that is a weird background. Say something.
We're doing it live.
All right. Yeah, we are live, but we gotta fix the lighting.
Hey, folks. If you're here, sorry we're a little late. Fun technical difficulties to start. Not even difficulties. Just part of the process, really. Ari's behind the scenes doing the love hijabs. Is that the right terminology?
Yeah. We're still a ways away from the finals starting, so I guess we're...
From the bronze medal match?
Yeah.
While we're waiting, if there's any psychos online, let me pull up old Fencing Time live. Let's see what the bracket looks like so far today. We've got no table here today, as you can see. So if you join us for previous sessions, this might be a little bit more informal of a session. All right. I'm going to jump into the table of 16. Japan squeaking by Denmark 45-43. As we've seen, Kongstad has been on an absolute tear for the first three competitions of the season, winning in, or was that Fujairah? And then we saw top 16 for him yesterday in Heidenheim, and looked like a very close bout down to the wire. Interestingly, no Yamada for this team. We had their probably fourth, fifth, maybe even sixth fencer on the team, Asami Seiya, who came in and actually did a good job. But yeah, they squeaked one out, 7-7 Kongstad and Kano to pull into the top 8. Netherlands looking strong. We're going to see them later with a win over Israel. And this team of Toulons and the very strong David Van Noonen just cruising. Freilich 6-3 over Van Noonen to go up 13-12. Israel was up even going into the 7th leg, but it's actually the younger brother, I assume he's younger, Raphael Toulon, who put the hurt on our Aussie boy, Freilich. 11-2 run that put 35-27, and the rest was cruising from there. Next up, big upset, China over Italy. It's been interesting to see China over the last 2 years. The former head coach of the Russian team moved over to coach China, and that has really resulted in a big stylistic shift, I'll say, for that team, going from the more French-based Aubry over the last 5 years plus to more of a Soviet Russian school with, do you know his name? The Russian coaches in China? Former coach of their national team and Sergei Bida. What is that guy's name? Anyway, interesting to see this out of China. They've had some strong individual results for the last few competitions. Nothing, groundbreaking, but interesting to see how that country shifts stylistically just based on who the national coach is. A lot more parries, a lot more second intention, and looking for the blade versus, the lawns of the world of the last generation. France cruising over Hong Kong. Switzerland, unfortunately, cruising over our U.S. team. And this is interesting. A very close win for Kazakhstan over Germany, 45-44. And as Ari and I were texting about yesterday, a huge day for the Kazakh team under Alexander Gorbachuk. 3 fencers in the top 8 for Kazakhstan, with our friend Ruslan Kurbanov actually winning the competition. A great season for him. So it makes sense. Everyone's a little bit tired. Actually, looking at this roster, I guess it's just Ruslan Kurbanov who's tired. He and their longtime anchor Elmir Alamjanov had to fence. Was it those two who fenced Ari? I think first round. And Kurbanov won, I believe, 15-14. And then Yerlik Sertai also did not go deep into the competition yesterday. So those two should be relatively fresh. And they squeaked one out over Germany. Ukraine with a nice win over Egypt. We've seen this Egyptian team starting to fire on all cylinders over the last couple seasons. Mo obviously has been ranked as high as #1 in the world. His younger brother Mahmoud has really come onto the winning Junior World Championships. And then our friend Mahmoud Mosin has been a staple of that team. But yeah, Ukrainian with a bunch of vets. Koshman, former world medalist. Stankiewicz, very strong World Cup winner. And Roman Svichkar, also European Cup winner. So very strong team. And they squeaked past the Egyptians 45-42. Welcome, Ari.
Just trying to get this computer stuff figured out. We have no DJ with us today, so we're
on our own.
We're on our own. All right, so we pulling up the stream here for Teams, and we're live watching some China. Okay, but not able to get a good screen share here. This is tough. Definitely tough. Let's do something.
This looks promising. Let us know in the chat if you can get good video quality and it's not too laggy for that.
What the heck?
Whatever. Just keep it the minimized view if it still is working for folks.
Yeah. True. Maybe we can go full screen.
No.
Maybe not. This is tough.
Listen, go do what you were doing earlier, and it looked like it was somewhat working. Not full screen. Just shift the video over to the side.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
This Chinese team is super fun these days.
Yeah.
Look at this guy's movement. He thinks he's Santarelli.
All right, we might have our engineer here. Hello, are you here? All right, I'll come get you. All right, Dylan, you can start the commentating here.
I already have been, but thanks for noticing. I think, how about shift the YouTube player over to the side, and then that gives us the big one. If it doesn't affect the stream for what they're seeing on YouTube.
It should not.
Just don't go full screen, because that looks like it's fucking things
I
up.
will not go. It's wetting things up? All right, there we go.
And then, yeah, move that over to the side. Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, folks. Thanks for being with us. I'm just verifying on my cellular device that we're looking not too shabby. God, is there a way to make this full screen for you guys? I don't know. I'm just here to talk fencing, the one thing I know. Trevor Shepard, good morning to you as well. Cole, sup? How we doing? If you're still here, thanks for sticking with our technical difficulties. Let's get into some fencing. So we're still waiting for the medal rounds. It was a little tough for us to plan exactly what time the bronze medal match and the finals were going to start this morning. So we're just hanging here until those get started. But like we were talking about yesterday, huge day for the Kazakh team. You know, they made the investment over the last couple of years of bringing in former gold medal coach Alexander Gorbachuk from Japan. Ukrainian guy, moves to Japan, really builds up that entire program from the ground up. Not from the ground up, that's unfair. But he transformed them into a powerhouse program and ultimately made the decision to move over to Kazakhstan, work with some of those guys who had a long established program for a while, but were kind of missing out on that top tier competitive result. So bringing in the champ, and you're already starting to see paid dividends with 3 fencers in the top 8. I think they had 4 in the top 16 yesterday in the individual competition. Crazy result for all of them. And Kurbanov has been around for a long time, a real vet. I was actually reading some interview with Gorbachuk as he came in and said, you know, we're not putting too much pressure on Ruslan because he's one of the old guys, right? We're looking towards the younger generation. Some of that might have been psychological, putting some pressure on him, trying to push him to do a little bit harder. And some of that might be in reality, right? 2028 LA Olympics is a little bit away. and he needs the young guys to step up. So if he hands them the reins, so to speak, that could be better results. In any case, it's cool to see a lot of the fencing from some of the other coaches within Kazakhstan, more of the French grip coaches and their students. But then I was chatting with Ari yesterday. I really like the fencing of one of the other younger Kazakh guys, Fedotov. And you can see a lot of the Japanese style and how he fences. Like if you've seen Asami, who's on the Japanese team fencing today, or what's up, guys? But a lot of coupes, a lot of coordination with the hand is all going together. We got some folks stepping into the booth. So bear with us as we get set up. But, you know, early days, no bronze medal match here. We're still chilling as we see a nice counterattack by Elmir Alimjanov. What's up, y'all?
Yo,
How we doing?
good.
What's good?
I'm Nick. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. We got Nick in the house helping us out here.
What's up, chat?
What's up, chat?
What's good?
We got early days. We got some technical difficulties. 4 people in the chat, but we're holding it down. It's a good time.
More will come. More will come.
More will come.
All right, we're about to record this, Dylan.
Cool.
Ooh, this is my root beer.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
All right, and then I'm gonna get my computer, Dylan.
I love it. You know, for folks tuning in who haven't watched the back half of a World Cup like this, it's hard to emphasize how much of a slog it really is. Like, the tricky part about these is after you lose on the front side of the bracket, right? You're trying to make the top 8, you're trying to make the top 4. Once you lose, you still have to fence off 4 places. And so those places do matter because you're going to get more points if you get 5th place versus 8th place, for example. And so it's super challenging from a psychological standpoint to still be as invested in those other matches. Even if you've lost, let's say, a devastating overtime bout to actually make it in the medal rounds. And so if you see a little bit less energy on the backside, very normal, very standard. And so these guys are physically drained, mentally drained, but still trying to battle it out. So I don't think this has the crispness and the intensity that you'll see battling for medals, but it's still extremely important. All right, welcome
Hello,
back.
y'all. I'm back. Ryan Griffiths here for Nick Prince. Nick, do you want to come in the camera real quick and just say hi? Wave right here.
Yo.
Nick Prince here for Ryan Griffiths.
And that's love.
All right. So let's figure out. Let's see.
We got to find a way to put the video full screen because right now it still has the full fencing TV border.
Yeah. How did DJ do that?
Actually, I'm live on my phone, so try and see if you go full screen if it messes it up.
All right.
No, we're good.
We're good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So if I do this, does this mess it up?
No. Wait. Yeah, it fucked it up.
Oh,
Messed it up. Sorry.
all right, that's fine.
Just go back and turn it off full screen real
Yeah.
quick.
Can you tell me which audio tracks in the Rodecaster are lit
Bear
up?
with us, y'all.
Which ones are lighting up? No, just the thing on the right.
This
Tell
is
me which numbers are lighting up when we're talking.
2 and 4.
2 and 4.
this is going to be 2 minutes of pain for 2 hours of great footage. Bear with us.
All right. Sweet. So now rolling here.
You guys want to see how the sausage is made? You're seeing it.
All right, Dylan. Is it working now?
It is working, and we're back, and we're seeing
All right.
an unforced error, which is rare from our guy, Elmir Alimjanov.
Sweet. And we can pull up the stream here, Dylan. And then we'll be all good.
We're good to go. Uncharacteristic rushing from Elmir. Normally, he's super composed in these team situations.
Glad we were able to get that on full screen. So, pulling up our stream.
Ryan Griffiths in the chat. You still boots on the ground?
No, I think they left.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They were in Frankfurt last night.
All right. Sweet. So,
and do we have an official time for when the bronze is going to start?
we got to check.
6 p.m. German time, which I believe should just be noon for us, right? Or is that 11?
I think it's noon for us.
Are they 6 or 7 hours?
Whoa, don't
6
say that.
hours.
All right. So,
Ryan, we just landed JFK. Pull up. I guess that means you'll be at Sunday practice tomorrow. We'll see you there.
So, sixth bout here. Not too much context from the previous bouts other than Kazakhstan kind of getting bullied by China. Fun fact, Kazakhstan is being coached by a Ukrainian and China is being coached by a Russian. Not that that's super, super relevant.
What a fun fact. Thank you.
It's just cool to see that top level coaches spread out across the world. And I think it emphasizes the level of knowledge transfer that has happened over the last N number of years in the sport. So it's really hard to identify what a country's style is if it's not one of the originators of a fencing style.
Well, this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, right? Like China for the longest time under Aubry had a French coach. And so they were looking for huge, tall dudes who didn't do that much on the blade, fence with French grips, played a lot with distance, and really a relatively simple game from an Epee standpoint. Now we can immediately see the Soviet Russian school effects, right? A lot of blade actions, looking for preparation, more 2 steps going into distance. And it's just funny how quickly styles can change for a national team like that. I mean, the big thing too is not only like the level of fencing, but also the money involved in some of these national sports teams. Like they are willing to pay top dollar to get the best coaches in the world.
And train like true professionals, which really sets somebody apart in a sport like fencing, or has the opportunity to set them apart, because so many of us, you know, like the people in the US doing it and more, have Canada, and that's just the West, but even many European countries have to do it as amateurs or semi-professionals. And that element alone adds so much to the pressure, the challenges when you're working a full-time job and you're not able to pursue something to its fullest, you know, degree. It adds some challenges. There are challenges on both sides, so I'm not crying about it. It's more of just
that's the reality.
It just goes to show that the ability to invest in something truly, like some of these countries have, you know, Kazakhstan, Japan, China, a lot of Asian countries, honestly. But to make these athletes pro, it's really, really important for the progress of the sport.
100%. I mean,
a lot of nothing happening this bout, everyone. So just sorry, Dylan.
No, I mean, this is kind of what I was talking about on my solo monologue earlier, right? Is like these back end bouts are so challenging physically and mentally because you're clearly not winning the tournament. You're not medaling, but getting the most amount of points that you can on the back end is hugely important for for national ranking, right?
Yeah.
Like you need your seed higher. And we talk about this with the US guys all the time. It's hugely important what your seed is at these competitions because you'd rather fence the lower ranked seeded teams as frequently as you can. And if you're going to be matching up, you know, with Switzerland or Hungary or Japan more and more frequently, like you're just going to have an earlier day more often than not.
Yeah, without a doubt. Peng Shengwei is one of the younger fencers on the Chinese circuit or Chinese national team for seniors. Same with Prohodov on Kazakhstan. You know, these are 2 young, promising fencers getting some very valuable experience while still in juniors. Maybe Peng has aged out, but
I think Prohodov's senior.
No, he's not.
Junior?
He's the same age as the Bizrodnov twins from Colombia.
Oh.
and he's out here making
Guys
top
stepping
8s
up.
and seniors. Yeah, come on, come on, twins. But really, it's cool to see these younger fencers getting these very, very valuable looks early in an Olympic quad.
Yeah, these are the important reps, not only for them individually, but also for the coaching staff, right? You need the younger guys who have the potential in 2-3 years at the Olympics to get these reps now, to be able to pop off and not feel the pressure when it really matters for these teams. It's cool. I love putting the young guys in for the later legs. 7th leg, getting down to crunch time, and coaches put them in. I love it. And it's funny to see the freshness change, right? These guys come in a little bit more sharp, a little bit more fresh compared to the dudes who've been fencing most of the team bouts all day or really went late.
Not just all day, but for the last couple of years, like it becomes a drag getting some of that young blood out.
They're
on
hungry
the
and want to
strip.
prove themselves.
Yeah, it's true. And they want to really push and get those reps. It could be exciting, especially these two young fencers. Both have displayed a lot of skill. Obviously, the fencer from Kazakhstan on the left has shown some serious results already at the senior level, kind of joining the French grip meta around the world. Slightly quieter noise from him, but we have a lot of young French grips out of all these countries starting to really perform. All right, I'm posting this on Instagram, Dylan.
Cool.
Trying to get some friends on here with us.
Good attempted second attention from Punk. I've been thinking about this recently, actually. How cyclical do you think fencing is? We've seen a lot of French grips start to come back into vogue over the last 2 years or so. Galassi, Sam Imrich, Prochodov.
I think life is
Prochodov?
cyclical. Prochodov, I think.
Probably.
But life is cyclical. I mean,
life is cyclical.
You know, humans, when they say history repeats itself, it's true. It is just that the human condition has been relatively unchanged for the past.
We're getting deep here.
No, it's true. The human condition has been relatively unchanged for the past couple of thousand years, right?
Here we are waxing poetically about the human condition as Prochodov hits a nice flush. Pong trying to flex a little bit too much with an attempted back flick.
Yeah. All right. I'm putting this on my story, Dylon.
Right.
I think I say we both just do that, and then we can get off our phones.
I'm living in the moment.
You're not putting this on your story?
I'm going to. I'm waiting for this leg to end. And that's part of the human condition.
That is part of the human condition. All right. I'm off my phone right now. All right.
Cole says the Kazakh team style looks like Imrich. It's really just one guy. It's really just Prochodov. The others don't fence like Sam.
I think he was talking about Sertai doing the body fakes and head fakes. You're seeing a lot more of that coming in now because not just Sam, but plenty of other fencers around the world have started to find more creative ways to do preparations and invitations, not just showing the hand or doing some type of movement with the legs, but they realize that there's so many ways to invite and provoke your opponent to attack or give you any type of reaction or even just allow you to get into their distance by distracting them with your body. And it seems to be something that's picking up a lot more nowadays. There was a trend in the early 2000s and the 2010s for things to be strictly pushing more towards athleticism and how fast your hand is and doing the actions. Right now, it's about returning to getting any edge that you can. Just
I think
any
it's
way
more
to
creative
get that
fencing.
reaction.
Yeah, I think actually those are related. I was thinking about this the other day actually when I was watching Sam fence at practice. I think the reason that those Sam Imrich was fencing at practice at the New York Athletic Club in the city of New York, United States.
Yes, sir. That helps.
I think the reason those body fakes are so effective these days is because the distances become so close.
Yeah.
Right? You're able to start with your body or your head and still be able to put a double on or hit them on the hand as they're extending because
nice
everyone's so close.
Sorry.
Great foot touch.
Nice foot touch from Xiu Yuhan.
I like his fencing. He's been my favorite of the three Chinese so far.
Yeah.
And it's not just the blue mask.
That was a great shot to the hand with an immediate drop to the foot. It's very classic. Oh, does it again 2 times in a row. Show Yuhan showing us some fire in the 8th leg of a back end of top 8 team match. Great way to close the lead. Sertai, very, very, I think you said slog was the word of the back end.
He's looked sluggish in his 2 bouts that we've seen so far.
I was about to say, just a lot of, he's trying to kill the time, refocus, it seems. Just not a lot of initiative from a fencer who's actually quite creative, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But cannot emphasize how challenging it is to keep fencing for every place after losing.
He's normally the one who's flexing on his opponents, doing a little bit flashier touches. I mean, just to talk about the psychology of a team bout, especially at this point in Kazakhstan's road to the LA Olympics right now, is, he's been a vet on this team with some young guns coming in, and I've got to guess that he feels some pressure to prove himself to the national coach, Gorbachev.
Especially because he's not one of the staples of the teim. You have Kurbanov, Sharlaimov, not doing super hot this tournament, maybe dealing with an injury, not sure. I'm just throwing random words here, but Sharlaimov and Kurbanov and Alimjanov are the 3 staples of their Olympic run.
Well, and those 3 plus Yerlik medaled at the last Worlds in Tbilisi. They got a bronze medal.
Well, not just that. No, Yerlik wasn't on that team. That was Prohodov. They took him off. Yerlik is an Olympian. He's a part of that team. But these young guys, Prohodov, then you had Fedotov and Zhulinsky, and these young juniors and fresh out of junior fencers in Kazakhstan that are showing not just a lot of potential, but the ability to perform, the ability to probably listen to their coaches. And that's what you want in a team, especially when these teams, are looking to see who's going to be.
This is the trial period.
Yeah, right? This is the let's figure out who's doing another foot touch.
Owning that foot.
Sertai does not agree here. We're not going to get a video replay because it's not a medal round, but 3 times to the foot, even if it didn't hit, Sertai's definitely feeling some frustration here.
Yeah, he looks pretty sharp to that foot.
Yeah. Show Yuhan.
Oh,
Come on, cameraman. Come on, cameraman. Oh, okay. There we go. Catching up. Let's see what's going on here. Sertai, a little more active here. We're seeing a lot more on the preparation than we were seeing before. Great change from Sertai. Finally, some life out of this Kazakhstan team. The lead is back, which is good. And it reminds us not to judge early. He lost 2 touches and their 2-point lead very, very quickly into this leg. But
no, he was able to adjust.
Yeah.
Took the pressure.
Oh, good adjustment.
Yeah, Shu pushing a little bit too hard now. Didn't really look like he knew what he wanted on that touch. Previously, he had a good game plan, right? Flick hand, drop low, or flick hand, fake low, try and draw out Sertai for second intention pair repost. But
totally agree. But that was all reliant. Well, there he's doing it again, but still
he's
really
not far. He's right there on those.
Really reliant on Sertai reacting and not prepping himself. But Sertai's doing a good job of. Wow, he's gotten much more overt in his fakes, it seemed, in his preparation.
Sertai?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pushing that 6 invitation hard.
Yeah. It's a lot wider than it was before. You were seeing some of these Kazakh fencers trying to adjust their fencing to their, I guess, not so new coach at this point, but still newer coach. And just seeing some of the impacts of him being there for a year start to show in their fencing. So not saying anything is good or bad. Likely it's pretty good because he's got an amazing track record. Ooh, we've got Joshua Zhang, 483. Ari, say something in Chinese. Okay. Yeah. 我觉得你是我第一个朋友。我爱你, Josh.
I took a semester of Chinese in high school, actually. I love you too, Josh.
Josh, how is that? This is more exciting than the other legs. I'm going to say, Sertai waking up a little during the bout and Sho just pushing hard. Nice finish there.
Lazy from Sertai.
Yeah, what I was going to say.
Shu got a touch just with a straight advance thrust.
Yeah, what I was going to say is Sho not very active on the legs, and he's been getting away with a lot of that. I don't know how much of that is coming from maybe he's just really sharp and able to change tempo well, or maybe some of that's coming from the
Listen,
slog that is
This
the
is the
backhand.
last bout of a long day, and they both
Yeah.
know it. Like they're just holding on for dear life. Here.
Yeah. All right. We're going to have
Good fight.
Hopefully a really exciting anchor bout here with Kazakhstan and China. Yang Fengming and Alimjanov Elmir, the no trash can in here. The tried and true anchor of the Kazakhstan team. A combination between him and Vadim Sharlaimov have been anchoring this team for quite a few years now. Brought them some serious international success, and let's see if he can bring it home for Kazakhstan to finish off the day in the round of 8. This is for 5th place, right, Dylan?
I believe so.
Yeah, see if that loss in the 8 can end in a win for Kazakhstan. Yang Fengming, again, younger. I want to say he's in his early, maybe mid-20s, but he's emerged as China's new anchor.
Nice.
Good push and
pressure.
attack. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. We got Vic Visu 4653 came here to say you guys make great content for fencing. Love what you guys are doing for the sport. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Vic Visu.
Appreciate you.
Our 10th concurrent viewer right now. We appreciate the love, and we just want to make it fun for people. Just don't watch the first 10, 15 minutes of this stream, maybe even more. We had some serious technical difficulties. We'll try to cut it out in post. Yeah. Maybe not. Okay, Elmir, good draw out and continuation.
Yeah, this is the 5th bout for 5th place.
Bout for 5th place. Okay.
Some serious points on the line here.
Every spot matters. So Yang Fengming is fencing, a very experienced, one of the older fencers on the circuit right now. Elmir is pushing 40, if not 40. He's born in, I want to say he might actually be 40. Give me a sec.
He looks good for 40. I don't think
he looks great regardless, but
I'm gonna say 38.
Okay.
Well, man,
any other
that's
takers?
pushing 40.
I'm saying 40. Let's see.
Good flush by Alimjanov.
Elmir is, let's see when his birthday is. Oh, he's 39. All right. But still,
That's pushing 40.
That is pushing 40. He's been a great and valuable asset for this team for quite some time. The Kazakhstan team has grown around him.
He's just a phenomenal anchor. Like Kurbanov, yes, I think has more individual accolades to his name, no doubt. He won this tournament. He won Paris or second in Paris.
No, I think this was his first gold medal.
I think he won in Paris.
Okay, I believe you.
I'll double check
later,
that.
Yeah.
He got second in Bogota, lost to Komata last year.
Point is,
a lot of individual accolades, but Alimjanov is a phenomenal team anchor because, as we talk about all the time, he's very good at managing risk, right? He has a relatively simple game that he excels at, right? Point is always threatening, and that's a good calculated risk, right? If you're Kazakhstan right now, you want doubles. If you double out this bout, guess what? You're going to win. China needs to take more risks, needs to put more pressure, and Yang needs to open up his body more to try and get something from Alimjanov, because if they both go at the same time, Elmir is going to double out. Kazakhstan will win.
Yeah, and he's so calm and collected. Being 39 in the Epee sphere, if you're able to stay healthy, you've just seen it all. He's been to multiple Olympic Games. He's been to every Worlds since, before I was fencing, probably. Like this guy is experienced, and it takes a lot to shake him. And he's been able to stay in good enough shape to handle moments like this. And this is not saying that they're going to win or lose. It's just that's part of what makes him a great anchor.
Agreed.
And they have a great team chemistry. Honestly, I love the Americans and obviously want to be on that team. I cheer for us before anyone else. But as far as other teams go, it's hard to not enjoy watching a team like Kazakhstan when they do well.
Agreed. Yeah. Good group of guys.
Yeah.
They gel well. And one thing I really love about Elmir as an anchor too is he's so good at eating up a ton of time, right? almost every time, unless he's going for a surprise off the line, is at his end of the strip, right? He's putting pressure and really just makes, this is something we talk about in footwork class all the time, makes it difficult for Yang to push down the strip. We know he needs to push. We know he needs to go, but Elmir is constantly putting pressure, step forward, step forward, step forward, with the point to say, anytime you screw up, I'm ready. I'm going to punish you. But otherwise, I want to see how far back to my end of the strip I can pull you and eat up as much time as possible. Getting down to crunch time. Let's see. Yang looking for the blade.
You think he's going to be able to do it?
That's what I was going to
nice.
say. Yeah. Elmir was coming out a little bit too much, looking for that counterattack. And this is part of that Soviet-Russian school that we're talking about, the shifts with China, right? Less so straight French style. Now they're looking to show some invitation, draw out your counterattack, and then take the blade and hit with parry repost. Oh, and that's a good calculated risk from Elmir, right? Putting the pressure, saw that Yang was a little bit behind on the preparation and said, okay, I can take a low-risk double advance to the hands, short advance lunge. Same situation. Will Yang go for parry repost? Good double from Elmir.
Yeah.
And this is the tricky part, especially for Kazakhstan, right? Do you lunge in? Do you go for the double? We know that Yang's looking for parry repost, and he gets it. Maybe a little bit too early to go in with a lunge from Almazhanov.
Could be fun. A priority.
I love it.
To finish off the
prelim.
Yeah, prelim, whatever we want to call these rounds, the pre-medal rounds.
Pre-game.
The pregame for the game. You guys came for the pregame. We have 13 people right now watching the pregame with us.
Yellow Epeeist. Wait, who has priority? I missed it. Looks like Yang.
No, Elmir.
Oh, yeah. Looks like he got his point there. I mean, Yang clearly had 6, but it looked like Elmir almost was able to push back and get a point on, but no avail. A little rushed, I would say, right?
Yeah.
9 seconds on the clock. Kazakhstan had priority.
Yeah, Kazakhstan had priority, and he still went for it, which I respect.
I respect it too, especially because being up twice, Yang was able to push and get the parry repost he was looking for. I don't hate the tactical shift in, okay, I need to push. I can't let you take and set up that parry repost again. I don't hate it, but 9 seconds, I mean, maybe a little bit more time. All in all, though, no one's medaling. 6th place instead of 5th in the grand scheme of things is not too many points that are lost.
Very young Chinese team. Interesting to see a Chinese team with no Lan Minhao, with no Wang Zijie. And, you know, just goes to show that the times are changing, and there are you know, new faces that appear, new leaders, new organizations, new ways to organize these groups. And it's kind of like Theseus's ship. You know, the teams can stay strong with or without these key players. For example, the finals, we have France and Korea, right? So let's look at who's on these teams. Like, these are 2 teams that have been at the top for some time. And on the French side, we have Jean-Joseph, Galli, Bardenet. And
who's their 4th?
They've been changing it out. Let's see. Maybe Paul Fortin. I'll tell you. I won't tell you. We can do it like this.
There we go.
Yeah. So France's 4th is Paul Fortin.
Paul Fortin. St. John's finest.
Yeah. And then Korea, you have Hwang Hyunil, Jang Hyomin, Kwon Omen, and Park Sang-young. Really, Park Sang-young, the only vet coming out on that team. And they're in the finals. For that French team, the only real vet that you have here is Bardenet. Fortin. Galli's been on a few teams.
Vet, for sure.
Yeah, he's becoming a vet here. But Jean-Joseph and Paul Fortin, 2 newer faces. And it's cool to see that the ship is still working.
You know what's hilarious is we hold the French team to such a standard, which is fair, but Jean-Joseph in most other countries would be considered a vet.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, let's shift this to the podium stream.
Is that
Interrupt, boys.
yeah.
Am I hopping
Do you want to hop on?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Hell
We're
yeah.
going to reorganize for our finals,
Third chair.
but we're going to do that in a moment. So
Hold tight. Get some popcorn. Get a beverage of your choice.
what's going on here? English commentary. All right. So we're going to just stop screen sharing for a sec and we'll just hang out with the chat for a moment. So how are we doing this? We got 12 people in the chat.
Welcome.
Welcome
to
all 12. We have about 15 minutes or so until the bronze medal match begins.
This is
that
a
true?
German World Cup. They run like the trains,
Yeah,
very on time.
They're definitely going to start at that right time. We're about to change up the set a little bit. Dylan will likely stay where he is, but we're going
I'm
to
gonna
be
hold down the
adding.
fort.
We're going to be adding another member to the squad. So
Guys, throw your questions in the chat so I
Yeah.
can talk about something, anything you want.
anything you want.
The human condition,
I'll be
ideally.
right back.
And you're about to see how the sausage is made in this podcast studio. You're probably going to want me to shift over a little bit, though, I'd guess.
No, you're good.
You sure?
You're good. Just talk to the chat.
Pick your GOAT 4 for a team event. Josh Zhang, for sure. I want 4 of you. GOAT 4 fencers of all time on a team event? Great question. I'm going Fabrice Genet is going to be on that team. Any Frenchman from that era where they won, what did Seth say? 7 in a row? Why can't I pick you, Josh? Please. AC legend. I'm going Fabrice Genet. I'm going... Where's some other top teams? I'm going Koki Kano. Definitely is going to anchor. Maybe the greatest team fencer of all time. Like what he does as an anchor for the Japanese team is absolutely crazy. I feel like, to be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Kolobkov actually bout in teams. I think there's just one clip that's going around on the internet of him fencing the French team, but he looks pretty dominant, and it'd be good to pick the GOAT. And
Didn't you just say Koki's the GOAT?
he's the team GOAT. Cody Mattern is a U.S. team GOAT, no doubt. Speaking of, I like the Seth interview that y'all did. That was a cool story about their road to winning that World Championships. Go get me 7 points. That's a good story. Go listen to the latest Direct Elimination podcast if you haven't already. But in my mind, I'm thinking like we probably need a strong Hungarian. Maybe I replace Kolobkov only because I haven't seen that much team fencing from him. I'm going to throw in one of my personal faves who doesn't get enough love, Ivan Kovac from Hungary. World champion, Olympic medalist, lefty. We need a lefty flair in there. And just an all-around good team fencer. Seems like a good glue guy, too. He's going to be okay coming off the bench, getting hot. But if I had my pick, I would pick Josh Zhang for sure. One fencer people aren't paying attention to, but totally should. Ooh, I like this question. This is a good question. Ivan Kovac from Hungary in the 90s and early 2000s. No, I'll pick someone relevant. Let me pull up FIE.org. Let me get the freshest point standings. Actually, no, I'm going to pull up Heidenheim individual results. Let's see. All right, we got all... Well, I mean, we've already talked a little bit about this new Kazakh generation, but I think they're going to be sick. Like, I want to be a fly on the wall of whatever Gorbachuk is running in those national team practices. I think it's incredible what he did with Japan. We're already seeing it pay dividends with the Kazakh team. So, Prokhorov, Zelinsky, Fedotov, I think all are interesting case studies, but I'm not like... I don't think they're quite there yet as the most interesting for me. I'm going down the list here. It was cool to see Lugona's back second day. That's a vet who's been around for a long time.
That's not someone who
That's not the answer to this question. I'm just saying it was cool to see him back second day, still fencing.
Nick, you mind tapping your mic? You tapping it?
Mhm.
Right, you're good.
Honestly, one of my favorite fencers right now to watch, and he doesn't have the full suite of individual results that a lot of people do, but David Nagy D, as he's known in the U.S., I just think is exceptional. I love his footwork. I love the way he creates, and for a shorter fencer, like blade work is insane. There's a bout between him and Burrell, I think in Budapest from a couple of years ago, where he just like puts on a flesh short fencer clinical masterclass, like absolutely insane. Nagy D.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Prince in the house.
Nick Prince in the house. What up, Prince?
What's good? I'm Nick Prince. I know Ari through fencing circles. I'm a previous foil fencer, and I love the sport. So happy to be here doing this with you guys.
I love it.
Nick is currently living with a teammate of Dylan and myself.
A boots on the ground teammate.
Boots on the ground, who is coming back from this tournament right now. Ryan Griffiths, NCAA champion in 2021, Cadet World Championships silver medalist in 2017. Anyways, lives with this guy here.
Subtle flex for Ryan. Let's go.
Yeah, we got to give Ryan some
Me
love.
too. Ryan Griffiths probably on the train home from JFK. Respect.
Listen, my audio's low. I can go.
Oh, Nick's audio is quite low. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Gustavo. We're about to fix that.
Go.
All right.
Ari, you got to keep your food off camera, bro. No one wants to see all that.
All right, Nick, can you say something?
Yo. What's up, chat?
Give me a moment. Nick, Dylan, can you say something?
Yes, I can. I'm going to answer Cole's question, my thoughts on the individual event yesterday. So,
Nick, can you tap on your mic? All right, can you say something?
yo,
Oh, that's much better.
we're back.
I bet that's it.
Wrong Nick. All right, reintroduce yourself.
What's up? I'm Nick. I have a podcast, and I'm also a fencer, and I'm here talking with the boys,
Yes, sir.
watching some Epee, loving life.
All right, there we go. Nick's audio is no longer low.
And we back.
We're gonna just add that to our audio that's being recorded real quick.
Look at Ari. Yo, chat, give it up for Ari right now. Look at what he's doing.
They can't see. I'm not sharing the screen.
What?
They
can't
see you running around.
They can
They
see
see
me
you
right
running
now,
around.
yeah.
They saw this chair got put in. Shout out to Ari. He's killing this. He's doing it all for the community. And he deserves some love and respect for this. This is dope.
Respect. One like equals one respect.
One
Yeah.
like equals one respect for Ari and the dedication here.
To talk a little bit about the results yesterday, we saw some good upsets going into the round of 16. We saw Fedotov beat Shikloshi, which was pretty unexpected, I'd say. Honestly, I mean, we've given enough for the
Pull up
Kazakhs.
that bout.
I mean, how much time we got? 7 minutes?
Nah, I don't think.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't know, let's just chat.
But we can chat through it. I mean, there were some crazy comebacks that we saw. So just when I tuned in yesterday, we saw Zelinsky from Kazakhstan, who was down big on Andrashvi, come back and win. And then almost simultaneously, we saw Prokhorov, who was down on Bardenay big, come back and win those bouts. So
Two very hard opponents to come back on,
100%.
especially.
Some good mental fortitude from them, able to come back. Upset Malkadi over Cook. I guess 17-16 is not a huge upset, but you know, Coke has been
And Ari's
been
generous
dominant.
with his food. Look at that.
Gustavo, is Nick's audio better?
Oh, also another crazy comeback. Yeah, Galassi over Shvelidze from Russia. That was crazy too.
13-9. Stephen Ewert, 2536, our in the field correspondent. I do need to eat that. It's how I stay healthy.
I had the same thought, Steven. We were downstairs and he said, "Can I get the Nutella bread or whatever?" And I was like, two foods that you should not be eating.
It was delicious, in case anyone was wondering.
That's not what I was concerned about.
Hey. So who won yesterday? I missed the event.
Ruslan Kurbanov from
Ruslan.
Kazakhstan.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
How'd he just fare in the team event?
They got 6th place to China, so he was in the tail end of that bout we were watching. And if I had to guess, he was probably cooked.
That's
no
gotta
gas
be
in the
hard,
tank.
man.
I know, that's what we're saying. But it's a good. I mean, 6th is not a bad result for how many were in the top 8 for them. And at the end of the day, like, you know, 6th is fine in a World Cup. Like, this is a team
That team is
who
probably
can win.
exhausted.
But long day for them.
Oh, yeah.
17-16 would be the final seed to have a bye to day 2 versus the number 1 out of day 1 pools. Correct. Incorrect. The 17th seed going into the elimination is the yeah. Never mind. You're correct. I misread what you were saying. I thought you were talking about pools. Yes. So the number 16 seed in the elimination at Trevor Shepard is the 16th ranked person on the world rankings that has registered for this competition
And they fenced
shown
the
up.
number 1.
They fenced
seed
the number 1 out
pools.
of pools. So you are correct. Great distinction. Thanks for bringing that up. Nick Prince content fire at Ryan Griffith 6769. Yes, we agree.
Wait,
Thank
Nick,
you.
what's your podcast? What do you talk about?
I talk to people I meet throughout the world, and I kind of just, I'm a sponge. I try and learn from them,
Beautiful.
you know? So go check it out. You know, we got a sound healer that I talk to on there.
What is a
Just-
sound healer?
It's people that, you know, use
They
their
ring the
voice
gong?
and different instruments,
Oh.
and they kind of soothe your aura. That's what I learned.
Align your chakras.
So yeah, in New York City, you can meet a lot of cool people. So that's the essence of it. But fencing is a language that I've always thought has been misunderstood and needed fencers to talk about it.
That's
so
true.
that's why I love being here. I think it matches exactly what I want to
That's what we're trying to do. That's our game plan.
get out of
Just-
podcasting.
At Justin Yu, O2J, Ruslan Kurbanov was born September 17th, 1991, according to his Wikipedia page. And he was born in Oskamen, Kazakhstan. I hope to go there one day.
I hope to go there one day too.
What do you think it's like?
Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I like Almaty is one of my like bucket list places to go to.
same.
Almaty is, what is it, the
It's-
capital?
it's
Capital
their
of
capital.
Kazakhstan.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
It
sir.
reminds me a lot of near my hometown of Salt Lake City, Utah, where you have these big buildings on this beautiful vista of snow-capped mountains. There's big hiking, skiing, snowboarding scene.
Wow,
Very cool. Very beautiful.
that's crazy.
And there's a World Cup there this year, right? Or
There,
Grand Prix?
no, it's in Astana,
Oh, it's an yeah.
which is slightly different. Nick, you mind saying something real quick?
Yo, what's going on?
All right, cool. We are
I
recording
want to
your
go to
audio.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah, don't we all? All right. So we have the bronze medal match about to start, and we are going to share that link with you guys. Can you post on your story?
I already
At
did.
First intention. Oh,
Already
you
did.
did? Oh, we're
Send me
good.
the link.
We are here.
You'll post on your
I will
story
promote.
too? All right.
Let me re-download Instagram. I take it off my phone because
Oh,
I get
you're-
addicted.
You're good.
Respect. I do that all the time too.
Yeah, right. Even
Mhm.
if I have a time limit, it's not
Doesn't
gonna
matter.
work. Yeah,
No.
I'm clicking that.
All right.
I was off full cold turkey from Instagram for 3 whole years. It was a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Account
How do you feel
deactivated.
like
you could not find me.
changed when you went back to it. Did you feel like
Of
you know,
course,
a
of
di-
course, but
different
I was
person?
able to have a much better relationship with it.
Exactly.
I didn't find myself reaching for it.
Yeah.
But it is disgusting, I will say, how the TikTokification of the app happened. Like when I was gone, that's when it started suggesting like
Oh, yeah.
recommended for you.
Yep.
And I came back and I was like, this is BS.
Now
Like,
your
it-
feed isn't just what you follow.
Right.
It's just
anything the algorithm thinks is relevant, which is not what I want out of an app.
No, definitely.
I just want to see what my friends are up to.
Exactly.
And whatever
Right.
Stephen Ewart sends me.
That's important.
So that's differentiated from what your friends are up to.
Yeah, trust me.
What your enemy is sending you.
No. I said what my friends are up to, as in like updates on their lives, and then whatever Stephen Ewart is sending me.
Mm.
All right, so we have
Steven,
the
look
bronze
out.
medal match about to be loading. We're gonna start sharing our screen again, and let's hope for some good fencing.
Let's go.
Oh.
Let's get some good fencing in this.
All right.
So we got France and Korea right now.
That's for the final.
Oh,
Look at
that's
the
for the
bronze
final?
between, who is it, Netherlands and, who are they fencing? Japan?
Netherlands.
Yeah. The
Whoa.
Netherlands is a very interesting team to have. They've medaled a few times at this point. So much of that.
And Switzerland. Netherlands and Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland
Wow.
has proven themselves to be one of the top programs going into this Olympic quad. They have a coach, Daniel Duran, a
Mhm.
former French Olympic gold medalist and great fencer, and really sad, I'd say drift away towards the end of his career, but a lot of injuries, some unfortunate drama. But
look at his fencing. It's not surprising. He was such an athletic dude.
Amazing.
He was a pistol Belgian grip fencer, and he was able to apply the French system as like a 6'2" fast beast. Like, it was crazy the amount of pressure he could put on someone, lightning fast, but also able to step back and take a parry. It was crazy. So
Wow.
for that kind of fencer, Park Sang-young, a similar
Yeah.
situation. It's not
Yeah.
surprising to see when the athleticism starts to drop. You have a major injury, you're not going to come back the same way.
Did he coach Switzerland when Heinzer was on the
No,
squad?
no,
No, this is
he
recent.
fenced against Heinzer.
Oh, wow.
And now he is coaching Switzerland, and you're seeing some of the impacts of him as a coach, not just from their fencing styles, but also the way that they bring a lot of intensity to the strip. And right now, you have, a split from some of their A team and some of their B team.
Yeah, look at this young Swiss team.
Yeah,
Wow.
but they're gonna. I mean, look, they're in top 4. They beat our team today. They're pushing hard, and this Netherlands team, Van Nuenen and Team Toulon, is getting more and more dangerous. They're having more and more experience on final strips, fencing against top teams. They beat Japan, the Olympic champions, Olympic silver medalists, world champions. That's a strong win for a country like Netherlands. Tristan Toulon, back-to-back medals in the individual events of the last 2 tournaments. He's on a hot streak. He's definitely going to be their anchor. He's the lefty you see,
Yep,
Nick Prince.
I see him.
He is great, and it's going to be really interesting to see this battle from 2 really, really gritty teams.
How important is this moment, the face-off? Getting together with your boys, doing a little cheer before the match.
It's the most important.
Right?
You got to get
Sets
your
the
mind
tone
right.
a little bit, right?
Yeah. And you got to do that even in college. You
Yeah.
remember how intense that was, that first bout in a competition or in an event where it's 2 teams facing each other. That's where the training wheels come off. Everyone's a little bit nervous. What's going to happen for that first moment? And you just need to be present. You need the team that is more present for the start of this match is not necessarily the team that's going to win, but you're going to see a compounding effect of energy and just overall momentum across your teammates. And it's so important. I've said it and I've been told it. I probably only say it because I was told this when I was younger. But team fencing in so many cases is not as much about fencing as it is about the team. So your individual skill level, your individual tactics, like all that stuff, that starts to fade away. And it's a lot more about how can I just do my job? How can I be accountable, bring the right energy, and do the things that I have to put my team in the best place? And it's very interesting. And the intersection between that and the actual fencing that happens on the strip is where the magic happens.
I love that.
Slicer Saber, at Slicer Saber, if Durant wasn't injured, Canon would never have fenced in Tokyo.
True.
I totally agree with you, Slicer Saber. I don't know why I'm agreeing or disagreeing.
That's
That's
just
an
a fact.
objective fact, but making a great point. If it wasn't for Durant's injuries and everything that ensued, Romain Canon would have been the alternate for the Tokyo Olympics and would not have walked away with an individual gold medal and all the legend that followed. So, for many people, when they see, tragedy on the other side of that, there's a lot of opportunity. Speaking of tragedy, Van Nuenen in his first season back from an ACL reconstruction surgery and moving quite well.
I love it.
He's got presence here. I'm
Van
just feeling
Nuenen,
it.
you
Yeah,
like
the
it?
point just looks very threatening.
It
He
definitely
just seems very assertive.
He's a great fencer who's always been able to really show up in big moments.
especially Heidenheim, honestly.
I think he got top 8 a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, no. Heidenheim is maybe his tournament.
He's kind of giving me that energy right now. Like, he's fearless. If it comes down to like we're both in distance, he's going to strike.
He is a fearless fencer. And that's funny
True.
that you use that word, never having seen him before. I think Van Nuenen is somebody who embodies that underdog personality
Mhm.
and mentality. And so does the entirety of the Team Netherlands fencing team. But Van Noonen in particular, he's not in Team Toulon. He's not a part of the brotherhood, literally. And
Different brotherhood.
and he just continues to find a way. He's got a lot of passion for the sport, and you've seen him grow over the years. I think he's right around my age, and he's only gotten better every year. And it's really awesome to see him come back from such a challenging injury and recovery and be on a final strip. So good on you, David. And we have an interesting first match. They went to P Yellow. So
I was going to say, this is our first time on commentary covering team. And so a lot of the strategy for team, we really haven't gotten into yet. And so one of the
look
big
how
things.
close they're getting. Keep
Yeah.
talking, Dylan, but look how close these two fences
Well, it's hard
are
to keep talking when you're talking,
That's
Ari.
true.
Thank you.
That is true.
So one thing that is part of team strategy in Epee these days is managing priority cards. And that's something when we fenced on a team together, we knew too well. And so going into a bout, you have to make the collective decision from coaches, from what fencers are comfortable with, is what are the bouts that I'm going to push? When are those risks going to be taken as we see a nice lunge through 8 from Van Noonen and a good counterattack from old Sven?
Yeah, I like what Sven's doing here. I like that I don't think he knows exactly what he wants. And so he's just not forcing the issue.
Well, the thing with the priority cards in Epee is that because Swiss is the higher rated team, they don't have to come out and take any risks, right? The onus is on Netherlands to come take risks and try and get points, right? If they get the priority cards 3 times, Switzerland wins and goes on to the final, right? So it's Netherlands who has to take more risks. And the question for the fencers and for the coaches is, which matchups do we like more to take those risks?
Yeah.
And at some point, especially early in the bout, it's just managing, okay, I need to at least get 1.1 light on per minute, right? So they were okay taking a yellow card for the first minute, but ultimately Van Noonen needed to rip one. Good for them. It was a double. Sounds like this is not a matchup that they like. And sometime in the next minute, Van Noonen needs to push and get another light on. Otherwise, P Red, that puts them in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to be flying and putting pressure on for the rest of the bout if that's the case. So probably we'll see another slow push in the next 15 seconds to get at least a light on.
Ooh.
And that's good.
Good
Vienna's
job from
takes
Vienna's.
advantage of it.
Yeah. How do you think his name's pronounced? Vienna's? Is that what you just said?
No.
You just said Venice.
I said Vienna's, but now looking at it, I
I
see
think
that's
it's
incorrect.
Venice.
I
right?
think Sven's doing a
Venice.
great
We'll
job
just call him
kind of
Sven.
countering this
I
energy.
like Sven better.
Yeah, but Sven, you're right. He did a great job just pulling Van Noonen and finding the right time to attack on preparation, right?
Yeah.
And that's really smart here because he's keeping the pressure on. He's not allowing himself to be pushed to the back of the strip so easily. He's adding enough counter pressure to keep Van Noonen from fully closing him in and just picking his time. Not the most interesting first leg, but very tactically smart from Sven. Not a lot of action, nothing being forced, and same thing,
which is what he should have been doing.
But honestly,
Totally.
same thing from Van Noonen. Nothing too crazy
Right.
from Van Noonen. He gets down one. He's not trying to chase it, re-earn it, and that's accountable team fencing that you like to see. 2 people that know their job, know that this 1 point isn't going to make or break this team match. And that's really, really important for the overall story because you see too often where someone gets a little too excited, a little too eager, and they could really put their team in a tough spot early
The
on.
hard part about team fencing is having the humility to pull it back when you don't want to, right?
Absolutely.
If you've lost 3 points, the coach is saying you got to pull it back. That's what you got to do for the team.
Yeah. So at Ryan Griffiths, 6769, why is Switzerland fencing their B team? I am not sure. I know that Howry has a history of some shoulder issues. You have who else? Bayard might be dealing with some injuries. Longer day from Bayard, but a longer day yesterday, excuse me.
I think short answer is it's a long season.
Yo.
And it's 2026 and the Olympics are in 2028. This is the time to get good experience for their young guys. And unfortunately, this B team is pretty good. I mean, it beat the USA team. So
Dude, this guy on the
these guys
left
are
looks like a
sick.
problem. I mean, whoa. That looks hard to hit, bro. He's one of those tall, skinny guys. When you're tall and skinny, it just creates all
And a
sorts of
French
problems.
grip.
And a French grip. And he's pretty active here. Getting pushed back by Toulon, but trying to add as much counter pressure as he can with his legs and his hand. Timing looks a bit awkward.
This first touch is super important. If Tristan can come in, and he's only got 10 seconds to get that, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
If he can come in and get the blade, I think this is going to be, to quote Shaq, barbecue chicken. I think he's going to come in, look for the blade, and that was not the action you wanted if you're the Swiss team.
At Julian Brodsky 7112, tall and skinny method, I approve. Yes. Well, you better be cheering for him because Tristan Tulin is hunting his barbecue chicken.
Oh, here we go. We got Tulin.
Yeah.
This is the guy.
Tristan Tulin.
This is the guy.
After the last 2 tournaments, jumping very high in the world ranking. Based off the way this season is going, I see Tristan finishing this season probably top 5, definitely top 10.
Agreed.
He's incredibly dominant, and fencers like him, the more confident they can get, the more dangerous they become, because it just means he can get closer and closer to his opponent without the fear that something's going to happen. Beautiful.
Same touch. Maybe a
Second
little
intention.
too far.
But still, that's the confidence we're talking about.
Yep.
He's able to get close, even though he started far, and just finish.
He's so strong on the blade.
Oh my God. I thought he actually hit that off the end guard line. That was really, really gutsy action. But at the same time, that's what's going to work, because your opponent doesn't want to engage with you. Metrailler, definitely.
Metrailler.
How would you pronounce it?
I think
Trailer.
it's so hard with the Swiss, right? It's
let's
like,
just call him Clement. Swiss
are
team's
you
first
German?
names
Are you
only.
French? Are you Italian?
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce
Swiss
it.
team is first name only.
Goes
Tulin.
two tempo.
Yeah.
Tristan ready just with an easy counterattack in.
Tristan Tulin, so imposing. We cannot understate how imposing he is as an opponent. And I know he looks smaller than Clement here on the left, or I just think that
No, he's got a French first name. You're
Okay.
so right. It definitely
Yeah.
is Metrailler.
Anyways, look at that. Another through the blade, start high,
Advance,
finish through
8,
boom.
lunge.
You know,
Oh
Clement's
my
gotta
God. I
change
looked down
something.
for 1 second.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, Clement's
Tulin.
got to change something right now, or Switzerland's not going to be in a good position going into the third leg. Very early in the team event, he's having a hard time applying counter pressure. Tulin does not seem to care. He's just kind of pushing, marching him down the strip, and not scared of that attack. I say Tulin's going to do the exact same action he's done and just finish through 8.
Listen,
again.
this is what team fencing at its core is about.
All right.
Getting the matchups you want and funneling the rest of the team matchups into that, right? Netherlands definitely knows that Tristan is going to win this matchup. And so you don't see Van Noonen pushing in that first bout a lot because he knows he has this next. Let's not get to priority red cards. Let's wait for this matchup where we know we can pull ahead +4 right now and maybe even could go higher.
Totally agree. Tulin switching to finishing over the top. I don't know why he abandoned the 8, coming in with a high line prep and then finishing low seemed to be working for him. There we go.
Oh.
Very strong, and I would say was it emphatic pair riposte.
Emphatic.
Emphatic's probably the right word here. I mean, just statement piece there. You can't touch me. And I say he goes back to that low line. Look at these aggressive invitations. Just anything to get Metrailler's blade out.
Wow,
Tulin,
Tulin is just walking him down.
yeah. And Nick, this guy is on a hot streak. You
Yeah.
caught him at a great time to join this stream. Tulin is as hot as he's ever been in his career on the strip, just really delivering a lot of damage.
Now that might be a red card.
Yeah.
Guard to the mask.
Guard to the mask.
Even if he does get that, which technically, I hate this rule. Like, technically, yes, that was a guard to the mask. It's so
Tulin was
incidental.
jumping in.
If you're Tristan Tulin, you're +4. Why are you taking this unnecessary risk? He's flying at him. I get you're in the zone. Yes, you're the anchor of this team, but like in teams, you got to know when to cut it off. +4 is probably the time to cut it off in this bout.
Not only that, especially with 2 seconds left,
Yeah.
but you could just put more pressure and finish through 8 again. I don't know.
Put pressure, try and draw him out. And with your pair repo strength, like no reason to actually go in and try and finish 2 like that.
Regardless, as far as this rule goes, yeah, he's going to get carded.
No touching a card. I mean,
And
maybe that
red
was a
card.
planned,
Yeah.
planned touch
Wow.
by Tulin.
Yeah.
I hate that rule, honestly. There are definitely times when a guard to the mask should be carded. If it's incidental like that, I really don't like it.
Yeah. 21 people here with us. Thanks
21.
for joining. And, we love having you here. If you have any questions, comments, anything, throw it our way. We have Raphael Tulin hooking up on the right side here to fence with, it looks like, Hadrian Favre on the left for Switzerland, who is becoming a vet on that team.
True.
He was a part of their Olympic push. They didn't qualify, but he has established himself as a very strong teams fencer. He's reliable. He hasn't found as much of the fire individually. He has had some decent results, but not as much of the fire as he's had in teams.
I absolutely love his footwork.
Yeah, he's a reliable guy. Well, because he's going to put in that 3,000% effort on strip, regardless of who he's fencing, when he's fencing, how he's fencing. I fenced against him. This guy is always trying to put a beat down on his opponent, not via cool touches, just via working them, just working them. And then Raphael Tulin, very, very counter-offensive fencer, likes finding that off timing. I think he's going to have a hard time with Favre here.
Oh,
strong finish off of a step in, flush through 8.
Tulin looked a little flat-footed there.
He did look a little flat-footed.
Yeah, it's a tough balance, right? So you're up 4, up 5. You don't want to give too many touches away, push too much, no need to attack, but you also can't be that passive, right? So finding that assertive balance as the team that's up is a little bit tricky.
Right.
But totally agree. That was way too passive. How do you eat up as much time as you can, make them take risks without getting all the way to your end of the strip where you're a step behind?
Yeah, that looked a little easy for Favre to push him down to the end of the strip.
And that's what he's comfortable with. This is his game, right? Push all day, wait till you're close enough, and then rip the flesh.
You're right. I really like Favre's footwork.
It's great. And this is kind of what we were talking about with Geraint's interesting style, right? It's very French. We're playing a distance game, step, a lot of, double advances, stutter steps, looking for that right distance. Ultimately wants to draw, but when he does get close enough, he's okay to finish. And that's actually good action for Raphael, right? Low risk double, waiting for Favre to come to him. But it's cool to see that Geraint's style has already started to go through a bunch of these younger guys where they are pistol grip fencers, technically probably with a Belgian grip, but are using this very French style of footwork of pressure, ready to break distance out with counterattack pair repost or finish with flush or lunge if you're close enough. Not too many risks on the blade, right? You can compare this to a Russian or Ukrainian system where it's hand pressure, looking for openings just to show something else with pair reposts. This is very much point on line, threatening to the hand, threatening to go straight.
This feels like a huge bout for Switzerland here. They need to pull back. They need to get something here.
And we were talking about the matchup in the last one, right? Mitraille versus Tristan Tulin. This I think, is a better matchup for Switzerland where they know that Favre needs to push here and look for touches.
Oh, man.
Good
Tulin.
step in from Tulin.
Yeah, Favre looking for the blade as he's stepping in. Raphael ready to
really
close
interesting because we saw the success from Favre coming in when he's not looking for the blade, when he's just going for the touch and closing out. They're searching for the blade, showing the audience and all of us how that could be dangerous, especially in a close distance. It might just be better to go for a touch, get that double, as Dylan at First Intention loves talking about. And Tulin, I would say, for someone who loves going to the back of the strip, does a great job. Yeah. He does a great job of applying counter pressure while letting his opponent take space.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really, really, really challenging thing to accomplish because it's so natural to go back and not be able to apply that counter pressure.
I think this is a situation we've all felt where sometimes you can be so set on pushing that your momentum keeps you going forward and you're not ready to get out. So on that previous touch, I couldn't tell from the angle if it was 6 under or just got a faint disengage as Favre was searching for 6.
Yeah.
But one way or the other, glued to the ground and was looking for the blade in 6, and Tulin was able to find his way inside with a nice touch. And again, he's doing exactly what he needs to, right? Absorb the pressure, get doubles, low risk. And actually, +1 on the bout, which is great.
Yeah. And Favre was in a tough position there, You have to mount this comeback psychologically. And then, you're at the end of the strip. It feels like he got a little bit forceful with the issue.
100%.
And ended up just losing those touches.
Yeah, ultimately what he was looking for was trying to draw out Raphael. He doesn't have the strongest attack, but if you're going to be pushing so hard that you're giving him that time to come in, I think he needed a little bit of a reset, right?
Yeah.
Push, pull,
Yeah.
try and get him coming forward for those times.
And it's like we said about the first bout. It's not bad to, punt it, especially early in the match. Take small wins and just slowly try and mount the comeback. But it felt
Exactly.
like he tried to do everything at once there.
Yeah.
But it does feel like Switzerland needs something. They need a spark here.
Yeah. I mean, the goal for them has got to be not one heroic period, but
Right.
+2, +2, +1, +2, and then they win the bout.
Totally.
Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup, I think. So we saw a lot of success from Tristan Tulin against Matraille, pushing to the end of the strip, going through the blade. But now with Netherlands up 6 points, their goal is to be using more time, burning that clock. And this gives the Swiss fencer more room to play and pushing where it looks like, based on this bout, he's clearly more comfortable, right? Setting things up with the point, looking for feint disengage. Oh, and a nice attempted pair repost. But this is clearly where he's in his element, right? Space to move, space to set up with the point, looking for feint disengage. And I would actually look for Van Nuenen to put a bit more pressure, even if that means going for doubles, right? He's clearly a step behind on that action as an easy feint counterattack setup for the Swiss fencer.
All right. Great question from @SlicerSaber. How much do épée fencers train specifically for team situations? Do some countries do more than others to prepare specifically for teams? So that is a wonderful question because it is a hot topic amongst a lot of fencers of what they do and don't like practicing. In order to practice a full team event, you're going to be eating up a huge amount of practice time with a lot of people sitting around and watching, which is not something that anybody wants to do at practice. So practicing team-specific situations is really, really, important and challenging. And the magic is finding a way to practice a situation that is not 100% focused on teams, but applicable across the board for situations that you will find yourself in a team event. For example, team legs and pool legs are very similar. So practicing 5-touch matches, 5-touch scenarios, those 1 and 2, touch swings with a 3-minute time limit.
You're down
like
3-1 with 90 seconds.
Yeah, stuff like that. You're seeing a lot more in men's épée training, at least, and or you'll practice like that was a great touch from Van Nuenen, inviting the attack on prep from Matraille, and then with a solid pair repost. And that's part of Van Nuenen's fencing right there. He's a smaller fencer, and he uses his aggressive footwork and a lot of those preps on the blade. Great remise there. Solid fencing from Van Nuenen right now. But he uses a lot of that really, really high octane action to invite something to get that second intention pair repost typically. So back to this question though. You will find in some scenarios you're practicing the last 3 legs of a team event, those, going to 45 and you inherit a lead or a deficit, or you'll do different types of team events. One that we did recently that I really loved was 3-point legs. So rather than having the ceiling go up by 5 every time, it just goes up by 3, which gives you a lot less room to make any mistakes. And you are putting your team in a really challenging situation if you're not accountable right off the bat, because you don't have the full 5 touches to figure it out. And 5 touches doesn't seem like a lot, but when you lower that ceiling to 3, you really start to feel how much air and space you have in a 5-touch match. And that's the goal, right? Because 5 is not a lot of touches, but the more free that you could feel within those constraints, the better you're going to fence. So to answer your question, I do think that there are a decent amount of preparations being done by these national teams. I don't know about the club level and outside of the national teams, but I know in the training camps, sometimes they'll even do team events with, some of these top countries fencing against each other and getting those reps in, because fencing is such a small sport. Like, some of the best training you're going to do is just going to be with your best opponent.
We've seen this at World Cups, actually.
Yeah.
I think it was in Heidenheim when we were there
saw
last.
It in Paris last time.
Yeah, we've seen teams, and I won't name the countries, but we've seen teams who have lost in the first round in the top 32.
Ooh, another strong pair repost from Nuenen.
These teams have said, we're here. We flew all the way here. We only fenced 1 team bout. We both lost. Let's mock up a team training bout under the same circumstances. So we'll ref ourselves. We'll have our full A teams compete against each other. And that way, more high-level competitive training in the same environment, in the same hall, just while we're here against other national teams.
And that's
So,
really tough to do. I'm going to be honest, like losing that first match, not getting a chance to get all that experience in the back end if you do lose is really challenging. So having the motivation to get over whatever dismay you're feeling and focus on gaining experience, kudos to those teams for going there and doing what needs to be done to improve. And one of the teams I've seen do that before, I believe, is Taiwan.
that's
And
right.
they just made a top 4 in Vancouver. And it's not that one is directly influencing the other, but you never know how that experience will impact you in the future. So same thing individually. You see people who didn't make the second day coming and warming up and getting some bouts in with stronger fencers in the second day. And everyone in the second day is always really happy because it's hard to find a person to come and warm up with you, get some of that bouting in before.
If you're fencing one of the top fencers as a warm-up for the second day, they're not going to give you their full arsenal. No one wants to get injured. No one wants to give away their secrets. But if you have some hungry kid who comes in, they're not fencing the second day. They just want to fence, a Siklosi or someone else good. People are looking for that.
Yeah. Also at Cole Millette 7613, giving a shout out to Slicer Saber for fire videos.
Ooh,
I
agreed.
totally agree. Slicer Saber, YouTube, Instagram legend in the chat with us. Thanks for coming in and watching some Epee. I know you're typically a Saber guy.
We can
but
convert you.
We'll try and convert you as best as we can. I think it's really awesome to have such a large creator here, supporting this live stream. And we've all watched your videos. They're really entertaining. If you haven't, go check him out at Slicer Saber. And big on YouTube, also has a strong Instagram presence. He's helped out with some of the direct elimination stuff before. He's gone and made some edits of some of our interviews. I really appreciate that. And just a really, really cool guy across the board and loves the sport, wants to see it improve and become better. So go and give his channel some support if you haven't already.
Yeah, I love your channel, Slicer Saber. I've been watching it for years. Genuinely. No, it's sick edits.
And he's here watching you.
Let's go. Whoa. Slicer Saber.
Now, legends aside, let's get back to this bout. So one thing in the last leg that we didn't speak about is I love the change from Van Noonen. He found a great solution of showing 6 invitation, got Matre to bite, and that 2-pair repost really worked.
Well, we're seeing it with 2 Netherlands fencers. The Dutch have just exposed that Clement is very, very vulnerable. Once that arm comes out, those low line parries and just disrupting him in the low line is the way to go. And Switzerland in a pickle, very one-dimensional right now. All of their fencers are just pushing, and rather than focusing on getting 1 point, they're trying to just make something happen, and that is too visible.
That's a good one. That's a good
Sven
change.
with a really, really solid touch.
Yep.
Still, I say he's pushing really hard. Tulin has the buffer to be making mistakes like that. Like, that's overly aggressive right
He's
there.
been winning this bout so far.
Who?
Rafael Tulin.
No, I totally agree. I'm saying Sven is pushing a little too hard, and it's like, you don't have to come back here. You just have to work that full minute for 1.
That was a good opportunity right there.
Yep.
Big pull of the arm, searching for the blade from Tulin.
I feel like what Sven did that last touch that he hadn't been doing before is he was just decisive. He was just waiting in distance for too long, and Tulin, that's his game. If you stand there in front of him while you're pushing him to the end of the strip, looks like he's just going to piece you.
Yeah, I think the big change that I've seen is on those early touches, Sven, I love you. I wish I could pronounce your name correctly.
You are. It's Sven.
There you go. He was looking to go through 8 or looking to go through the blade, and Rafael was just staying in the line and closing him out.
Did that count?
I don't know, but it looked like Tulin might have been the one to initiate the passing.
I agree.
So I think Venice or Sven gets that touch. We'll see in a sec. We got 25 people with us now.
I think he got
Hey,
the parry.
everyone.
I think he got the parry and went behind. I think he got 8.
Well, no,
and
he
wrapped it
definitely got
around.
the parry. The question is,
Who was passing?
Who was
passed
passing
first?
So if
Got you.
Sven was the one passing Tulin, Sven is not going to receive that touch. If Tulin was the one who's passing Sven did score that point, and it counts. So Very interesting scenario.
If this does go to Sven, 35 seconds left. What's going through your mind?
So I say if this goes
Push
to
for one.
Sven, push for one.
one.
I disagreed with how hard he was pushing, but it seems to have taken, a swing towards him as far as momentum goes. I think he in general is a relatively smart fencer, and he's able to notice and recognize these situations where his opponents are starting to feel a little off, and he's been putting. Yep, they gave him the point.
Wow.
Great touch from Sven.
Great touch.
So,
what a turnaround. He was down 3-1 here. I mean, he just swung the momentum, doing the exact same thing, just changing up something small.
Big thing to point out here, though, Nick. He was down 3-1 in the individual leg, but that's not what we're focused on.
Oh, he's
here.
going.
That's
And
way too much
look at what
pressure.
happened.
Too aggressive of a push. He did feel that it was working, but then he went after it a little too aggressively. And that's,
and I think they didn't give him that last touch too.
no, I think it was 15, and then they gave it.
I don't know.
So here he's okay.
He's
The
just
dog
sending
fight.
it, man. 24 seconds, two
Yeah,
touches.
I think he could just work for 1 point here. Like they just need to close that lead by one.
He's just going.
All that action for no change in the lead.
Yep.
Like,
Oh,
Let's be clear here. The reason he's pushing so much is because we know who's up next. Tristan Tulin.
Yeah.
They hate that matchup.
Great
I
point.
agree.
Great point.
This statistically is where they would have a better chance of winning their points versus Tristan.
Yeah.
I agree, but I think of these fencers, Hadrian Favre
I agree.
matches up fairly well with Tristan Tulin
Yeah.
relative to these other guys, because Favre can push really hard. He can apply that counter pressure.
He's okay
And he
absorbing
works-
and pushing.
He works so hard on his legs that someone like Tristan Tulin still has the advantage because he is the better fencer.
Mhm.
That being said, Favre has a lot of discomfort that he brings to his opponents with the way that he's moving. So we'll see what happens.
I think up 8, it looks like Tristan Tulin.
Ryan
I don't think
Griffiths,
he's
Sven's
gonna.
behind the back touch, never got out of the score. Good call out, Nick. And Cyrus of Chaos can make a video about it potentially.
Oh, really?
we could
So they
submit
messed it
to-
up. The director awarded it.
We'll watch. Okay, Favre starting.
And that's
us off
exactly
strong.
what you want if you're Switzerland, right? We know Tristan Tulin's bread and butter is pair repost. If you can draw out that attack, get away to a safe distance, that's what we want. Push, pressure,
Look
try
at
and
that
draw 'em
counter
out.
pressure he's applying. Tulin wants to push
Oh, that's a
him.
battle off the line.
Yeah, and Favre is okay being close. He's okay
Yeah.
having that tension. Look at that.
Oh, great. Way to
Good.
draw him out.
It's okay that is a double. That's an advantage for Tulin, but closing that lead as a team is what matters. So even if they double out, the ceiling goes up, or your ceiling, I guess, gets smaller. Favre just closing that score by 1 is so key. And look, he's already able to start putting that pressure on because he's so strong with the legs.
Wow.
Dylan, I know you're loving this. Dylan
Favre's
is a big
taking it
advocate.
to him, man.
Yeah, no, and that's what he does. But look, no rushing, just a lot of aggressive preparations,
Yep.
counter preparation. Ooh,
Oh,
and then the rush.
And that's what he's
attack.
waiting for at the end of the day.
man. He's just got that awkward style with his arm.
Tulin?
Yeah, Tulin. He got around his blade there, but really, you didn't get anywhere.
No,
you-
I mean
you
that's
just
that's
fell
what he's
into it.
looking for at the end of the day. He's going
Yeah.
to throw a lot of false stuff out.
Yep.
But if you are lunging at him from too far away, barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken.
Dude, look at that herky jerky footwork by Tulin. It's so deceptive, man.
Yeah,
It's so deceptive.
and
And then
it's funny because he's a great athlete. So
Yeah.
it is herky jerky
Right.
because he can explode from there into like a jump lunge.
yeah.
It's purposeful.
I saw last about that attack he had. He just had that clean footwork where it looked like he was going to rush at him and then boom, stop, pair riposte.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's just so deceptive.
Wow.
Let's
I'm
go.
really liking this conversation a lot
Yeah.
more than some of the other matchups that we've seen, where
Yeah.
both fencers
Woo!
good.
And he's okay to punish if you're not going to do anything.
Yep.
Yeah. But Favre, he's in a tough spot here. He's trying not to rush. He's trying not to let the score bleed. He knows the job that he has, and he's putting all that pressure. But like Dylan said, you have to be able to finish. When you get your opponent all the way into
Yep.
that box, they're going to call your bluff if you're
Yep.
not doing a deep attack. And he probably lost that confidence because he did an early deep attack from too far, got hit, and then, then you start doubting yourself. Do
Mhm.
I go? Do I not go? Because he did all the work to get Tulin down there. You just got to finish.
There again, and what does he do now? Backs up. He's not testing it.
Yeah, well, again, because he's an accountable
Oh,
fencer.
Yeah.
Tulin, man.
Netherlands is doing a great job of holding this bout. I think Switzerland had a few moments in the earlier legs where they just rushed a little too much, didn't try to bleed the time long enough and really milk
Yeah.
the attention span of the Dutch team. But here we are, and they're down by 10. I don't see it happening. I'm sorry, guys. I don't see it happening. I think this is going to be a tough end of this bronze medal match for Switzerland. I think Netherlands ends up, ooh, what is this?
Some iCloud data isn't syncing.
I don't think that, what's going on?
Bear with us, folks.
No, we can still see it. No, we can't. Oh, no.
This is all Tim Cook's fault.
This is Tim Cook's fault.
Steve Jobs was better.
All right, we're back.
And we're back. And a good double to finish
Tulin.
out from Tulin. Yeah, man. I mean, it's tough. Like, I think the game plan from Fav was correct, but ultimately you're fencing one of the best in the world who's just on an absolute tear
Mhm.
right now internationally. So, you know, his game is locked in, right? If you're going to attack, he'll punish you with pair repost and flick you on the back.
Yeah.
And if you're a little bit hesitant coming forward, he's going to eat up that distance, punish either to the body or nice foot touch at the end of the strip too.
You think that's the right approach to fence Tulin, though? Be aggressive, take it to him.
Yes.
I mean, you have to, right?
I think the worst game plan you can do against Tulin is let him take over
Mm-hmm.
because you've seen now how well he is at closing that distance as well as going back pair repost, even in place. I think you want to give him as little breathing room as possible. So to comment on Dylan, you know, I think Fav had the right idea. I think putting that pressure on was good. There was just a mismanaged scenario where he rushed, got hit from a attack that came from too far. And then what ensued was he then lost the confidence to attack when he had to,
Yeah.
did all the work to get Tulin down to the end of the strip, and then stood there and got hit.
I actually disagree.
All right.
I don't think the game plan should be to give him as little space as possible. I think in that very tense moment where you're both in lunge distance, I think he excels at that. I think the game plan actually was similar to what Fav was doing early in the bout, where you're constantly putting pressure, but opening it up, pressure, open, pressure, trying to get him to come forward and trick him into a timing where he's going to lunge that you're setting up. And that's a planned distance fake, right? So I think the French school actually pairs very well because we all know he's great at pair repost, but you actually, I think, in my opinion, do want him attacking just at the wrong time, right? So if you're able to step in, trick him, pull him short, and then either take over or hit with your own pair repost, that I think is what you should be looking for, and Fav was doing it well. But unfortunately, those few moments where he stepped in and wasn't ready and wasn't playing that trick, Tulin's ready, and he's just instantly advanced lunge.
And it's a question you love asking, Dylan. Why step in if you're not ready?
Boom.
So I missed what happened here, but Switzerland got a point. Does that mean Raphael's blades didn't work?
I don't see a red card.
Potentially.
I don't see one either. Maybe we just added
Just
that.
too busy talking strat.
Yeah, we just love talking game. With
Or
the
maybe
boys.
it was from the previous miss that they had and they added it back. I have no
Oh
idea.
yeah, it looks like they did.
Oh.
Hey,
All right.
good on FIE. That
I
would
love
only
that.
happen
I
in
love that.
Germany. That's not happening in Doha. I'm sorry.
Oh, interesting
Yeah.
to see Clement Metrailler putting all that pressure on. The last two times we saw him on strip, he was kind of getting marched down.
There's a matchup.
Last bout, it felt like he opened up like that and then just kind of ran out of variety, you know?
Look at who he was fencing.
Yeah.
This is the most passive or the most risk averse out of the three Dutch fencers that we've seen.
Oh,
Ouch.
interesting though. It is their B team. We're not seeing Howry, Malcotti, or Bayard. So maybe this was a tactical decision from Danielle Durant, their head coach, to see what the rest of the team is going to look like.
Mhm.
Has the B team been fencing all day?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
just and then
switch
you can't
that
swap
out
'em.
during the event.
Oh, okay. Metrier is just trying something there.
Yeah, this one will be interesting to see if he can catch any sort of fire. Like we were talking about, the other guys put so much pressure on and don't let him really play his game offensively.
Right.
And so because Tulin, given the score, given his style, is not really going to come out.
Oh. I think the strategy with Tulin, though, is you just can't stand there in his face at the end of the strip, you know? You got to make some action towards the end. And it looks like Metrier is trying to do that. He's just not really sure what he wants to do.
Tulin does have a good way of just like keeping his point available and letting the other person make the mistake, right? If they're like searching for the blade, he's just going to extend as you're still coming into distance.
Oh, that was cool. Nice.
And one.
Yeah.
Should we have and ones in fencing?
That was an and one. He got hit at the
I guess
same
the
time
equivalent
and
is
still
like
finished.
if you get the touch and they give a red card sometimes for core.
Let's see Metrier. Hey, I like what he's doing here, man.
I mean, he's got to get creative.
He's got to do
Oh,
something.
but what?
That's too
Come
easy.
on, bro. Come on.
Down by 8, time running out. Not a good place to be. You're not really sure what you want to give. Obviously, if Seth's on your bench, he's saying give me 7, but we're not necessarily seeing that. Ooh, good duck. Raphael, you know,
Uncharacteristic coming out in the middle of the strip.
I think again, he's up by 9. It's like, why not? Right.
I agree.
And then now he's going back to his A game. Great reset, recognizing his mistake. And I think we're just going to see more of the same from Raphael. I mean, this Dutch team is very sorry. I saw the red, white, and blue.
Oh, just missed Tulin.
The Dutch
Just
team,
rotate it.
a lot of accountability on them. You know, obviously each one has had their own fair share of just, you know, trying something out, overcommitting, whatever, but they all continue to revert back to what they know they have to do, what they know works.
Yeah.
And that is the key in a team event. Everyone's going to make mistakes. This is a high level sport, but humans are the ones doing it. We make mistakes. It's natural. It's okay. The question is, how quickly are you going to adjust back to doing the right thing, the thing that you have to do to score rather than what you want to do?
I like this pressure right now.
Yep. Oh,
that's okay. But the prior feints and attempts, I think, were exactly what he should be doing, right?
Yeah.
Feint hand, getting the parry, trying to go with disengage with an attack. He was just not at the end of the strip, so Tulin had somewhere to go.
And I will say Metrier is getting out of the distance after he pushes really smoothly. I don't know if he's capitalizing on it as well as he should, but I think the way he's pushing, and if he had more time to set up these touches, you know, I like the way he's moving this bout.
Good double. And this is something we talk about all the time, right? If you're
Dylan loves this. This is the hill he's dying on.
It's the right hill. How few risks can you take when you're leading in the bout, right?
Right.
I think this is part of why, even if he's not the strongest individual fencer, the most technical, Raphael Tulin is a great team fencer and a big part of Netherlands' success because he's going to be able to plant himself, still apply pressure at the end of the strip, and make the other guy make all the mistakes, right? How few risks can I take and still put a light on?
Yeah, everyone needs to probably play a different role. That's also to Slicer Saber's question, you know? Everyone needs a different role on the team, and you got to approach it in like 3 different ways. It's cool. But yeah, I love Tulin's role, you know? Especially when you have a lead, he's a guy that you want in there to protect it.
This is the critical matchup, I think. Fav putting crazy pressure on Van Nuenen.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen Fav like have his best bout.
Yeah,
this match.
I've definitely been speaking highly of him, but we're just seeing the Swiss team in a tough situation. But
yeah,
Fav, you're right. And this could be an interesting moment for him to close that lead for his anchor, who's probably
that was tough. That was tough.
I think this is an interesting matchup because we also know that Van Nuenen loves to push and feels comfortable in the middle of the strip, and Fav is putting so much pressure that if he can either get to that point where he's going to go through the blade where Van Nuenen has nowhere to go, or draw out Van Nuenen's attack from too far away like we were talking about, that's when this bout could get interesting.
There's nothing colder to me in fencing than just a direct attack.
It's the best touch in fencing.
Oh my God. When you could just get someone with their arm back like that, so clean.
He went through beat 8, right, John?
It looks like it.
Yeah. And it just Nice to see. Oh, there we go. Maybe
Oh,
a
come
bell
on.
guard.
Call it both ways, ref. Call it both ways.
No, maybe he just got hit
collarbone.
hard. It looks like it doesn't look like a guard.
Yeah, I don't think it was a guard
no.
to the face.
He just got hit.
I'm with Dylan, too. Let's go. Let's
Let the boys play.
suck it up. Yeah. Next touch.
No, for real. Like,
Yeah.
if it's incidental, look, the fencing has gotten so close distance-wise. Everyone's so athletic.
Mhm.
That's going to happen. I agree. If the ref can decide a subjective call, yes, there's malintent, and you're trying to hurt them with the bell guard,
Mhm.
100% red card. But, like, ticky-tack calls like that is so lame.
Yep. Especially if it decides bouts. You don't want a
Agreed.
bout decided off that.
Agreed.
Oh, trying the
Good.
same. So it looked
We got
like
a bout
Van
here.
Noonen's got the timing on that lunge.
We got a bout here for sure.
But Fav is coming with energy.
It's true. And look, 5 touches down. That's you're starting to see life. You're starting to see that hope.
Yeah.
This might be able.
Good double.
And now if you're Van Noonen, you're starting to think, I don't want to be the one
Yeah.
to let up this
Yeah.
lead.
And
I
it's-
don't
thoughts
want
are creeping in.
Oh, I'm 4-2,
100%.
As the pressure gets put on, how is he going to respond here? 5 touches, that gap can close quick.
100%.
Minute
And
45
Fob
left.
doesn't care what the score is. I've
Right.
seen him put that pressure on down by 15 points in a team event. Like,
Oh,
Good surprise.
great change.
Sheesh. Van Noonen. That was dope. Stopped him right there.
Good touch.
He's
And-
got to be feeling good now.
Yeah. Now he's not thinking about 4-2, 4-3.
No.
Now he's like, okay, I'm
That's
fencing again.
that's how you respond
Yeah.
when we're talking about that pressure he was,
Yeah.
starting to feel.
But Fob's still doing a good job just applying that pressure, looking for a moment where he can catch Van Noonen on the step in.
Yeah, and I want to talk about team overall tactics for a second here. So the big question for both teams is ceiling for the last bout. And so obviously, yes, if Fav could catch up and win this bout, that would be what the Swiss team wants. But more realistically, they also need to plan how much leeway do we have for the final, right? Netherlands wants to get to 40 touches, so they're the closest to 45 for their
Mhm.
anchor as they can. But Switzerland might say, we like the matchup in the finals a little bit better, and so we want to keep the ceiling lower so our best fencer in the final can have more leeway, more space to play without reaching that cap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
With
think they're
Tristan
thinking
Tulin
about
in the
that.
final, I don't think that's the right call, and I think this is the matchup where they should be putting the gas on.
Yeah. And I think that it's interesting. Like, it's far too late to be thinking about ceilings or no ceilings with that bout with Tristan Tulin, because he's
He's going to go get
He's-
5 points.
he's gonna score 5 points. Like, I think 5 points for him. Netherlands is like, we don't care if it's 40-39 or if it's 40-33.
Right or die.
As
That's
long
our
as
guy.
we're up going into that 5-touch match, Tristan Tulin's gonna go out and score that.
Oh.
Fav. Good counter pressure.
Oh,
from
Nice,
Fav.
nice.
yeah, just too big an initial step in.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I don't know.
You
Looked
know
like a
what?
hard
I
hit.
will point out one thing. We talked about it previously. Our issues with the FIE stages. Yesterday in the finals, we saw Davide Di Veroli. It's yet another final, semifinal, whatever. It was in the finals, but with Kongstad, it was in the finals in Fujairah. But yet another, medal match where you're seeing a fencer falling off the stage and, at risk for no good reason.
No reason.
And maybe that's what Fav was talking about just now. You can't really tell. We're not there.
I thought it was a hard hit from Van Noonen.
Yeah, maybe it was that. But still,
Oh,
Fav
again.
showing some serious signs
Yeah,
of
Van
life.
Noonen is looking for that double, but he's
Yep.
being too passive about it, right? He's trying to wait and then come in with the arm, but he's not going and getting that touch. He's not setting it up himself.
Yeah.
Pure reaction. But no, I totally agree about
But the stages, it's ridiculous, and it's the fact that we're sitting here and we're live streaming these matches, and they're potentially going to be, just more and more eyeballs on this issue. The worse it's getting for
good closeout.
the organization for continuing to put the fencers in bad situations. Like, why not extend that stage 2 feet in each direction?
5 feet in each direction. The other thing that grinds my gears too is the lack of consistency on what the strip length is. And so this is not to discredit Kurbanov's win yesterday, but it looked to me like he was off the strip on that final touch. He starts a flush, gets a counter parry 6, finishes the flush. Sometimes on this stage, the non-blue part, the gray, is considered on, which it shouldn't be for how skinny this strip is. Sometimes it's considered off, and so even that lack of consistency drives crazy.
And but it's tough for the fencers too,
Of
not
course.
just you, right? Like,
Yeah. Let me find a way to make this about me.
no, but you've been that fencer, and it's challenging. It's like the more standardized we can make this, the more fun it's going to be for everyone, for the spectators, for the fencers. You know, you can keep it safe and keep it exciting at the same time. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. And yeah, anyways,
nothing about this finals being on a raised strip makes it better. For the at-home viewer, we have a panel with the names and things that are covering up the strip anyway. So it kind of looks like they're just on flat ground anyway. There's no reason for the strip. Anyway, let's get to the finals.
So Tulin, we talked about him just going in there and getting 5 points.
Yeah.
I think he's happy getting pushed here. He knows that Sven has to do something, has to take that risk. And that double is exactly what Dylan Nollner right here loves to see. For the guy who's up to just be holding that lead, burning time, a minute almost off the clock, and he walks away with the point on the board.
Tulin does such a good job of this moment that all fencers know, where there was almost a touch and you both psychologically know there was a touch, and you're both kind of thinking tactically for a moment on what almost happened. And he immediately launches into an advanced lunge. Like separation, the reset, and he'll take over instantly. Super smart. I love that he gets that touch.
And it's
very
really
frequently.
challenging to deal with as an opponent, because you immediately tell yourself, yeah, I should have been ready. And
and by that point, you're getting hit.
Yeah, and you know.
And look at what happened there. Sven got Tulin to rush a little bit at the wrong time and closed out. Hey, that's how you approach it. But yeah, like you guys are saying, Tulin is smart, man. He's deceptively smart, always thinking a move ahead. And I love that point you brought up. Like, in tense moments, he's just the first one to make a decision, you know? Oh,
wow.
And he's so versatile, man. This guy's doing everything.
He plays his game really well.
If you want to, try and be safe, he's always threatening.
He's really been coming into his own this season, and
it's cool.
Leading this team, it's cool.
So this is the first year he's really popped off.
He's had some medals. He got second at a Grand
Second at
Prix.
Euros?
No, he got second in Colombia in 2019 in Cali. So he's had good results, and he pushed. He almost made. He didn't make the Tokyo Olympics. He was still second fiddle to Bas Verwellen at the time, Netherlands legend. But
then he did make the Paris team.
He did make the Paris individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winning the Euro qualification
He won
tournament.
the Euro qualification tournament.
Wow.
He's a clutch,
The most high stakes tournament
Yeah.
of all time
He's
outside the Olympics.
He's a clutch fencer, and I mean, he's great. This is, I think, his first double medal weekend. Going for the
He almost
highlight.
got the second one, too.
Oh man, dude, he's just about one of the most entertaining epee fencers I've watched.
No, I love it.
I'm not. That's not hyperbole.
You're gonna go home and watch some Tristan Tulin.
I
videos?
will. I am going home and watching Tristan Tulin
And
Tristan
Netherlands
Tulin.
with a double bronze
Whoa.
Tristan Tulin weekend.
Love it.
This guy.
Great weekend for that team, and individually for Tristan Tulin. Awesome to see a new team starting to win these serious bouts.
Getting some hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the Netherlands.
And
So
shout out to Switzerland's B team for making a top
a
four.
crazy
game.
result.
Great fencing. Just it's awesome to see two teams that are not traditionally on that stage getting out there. And Switzerland, they medaled back to back. They got back to back golds.
Switzerland is traditionally on that stage.
No, they are now.
Not
but
these
then-
fencers specifically.
No, but I'm
though.
saying they're able to throw their B team in and still get onto the podium match. That's really, really impressive.
yeah,
To Slicer Saber's comment earlier, there is something clearly that Switzerland does in their training that allows their teams to be a whole that's greater than the sum of their parts. I don't know what it is, and I'm very curious if anyone knows. Throw it
Theseus
in
is
chat.
shit, baby. It's the same Swiss team, regardless.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And that's something that's really hard to do on any sports team, especially an individual sport like fencing, and you see Swiss legend Benny Steffen out there helping out the team.
Love
That's
it.
cool to see him teaming up with Giron. They had some epic battles themselves, and Steffen is part of the Switzerland is traditionally on their statement that you made.
World
You know,
champion.
so many,
Wuxi
so many,
2018.
but not just that. I mean, he's been around for so long. His bout was the epic Kolobkov, and number of touches in like 2 seconds or whatever that was. That was against Benny Steffen. He's been around for so long. It's cool to see him paying it forward, paying it back, whatever you want to call it, with this next generation of Swiss fencers. And just great to see a lot of these countries have fencers that did so well and really trailblazed for them come back and help out with the next generation. We're seeing it in the U.S. now with Seth Kelsey, Cody Mattern, and Soren Thompson helping guide that U.S. team.
And Ben, NYU head coach, Ben Bratton.
NYU head coach, yeah. We love seeing, Nikishin coaching the women's Epee team and Riesling coaching the women's Epee team from
Ukraine.
Oh, no, Rieslin's the men's Epee coach.
Riesling's
right?
men's
Epee head coach.
Nikishin coached Kharkova to a world championships last year in women's
Vermier
Epee.
was coaching in France for so long.
Now in Hong Kong.
Now in Hong Kong, but that's more of like,
let's get paid, baby.
Let's get paid.
Go get that check. I respect it.
It's just awesome to see. And I think there's no understating the fact that it is motivating for the athletes of that country.
Yeah.
Just to have someone that you looked up to be in your corner cheering for you, that it saying it means a lot is not really conveying.
It's an understatement.
How impactful that can be.
I'm going to go get water.
And yeah, for sure. And
bye, Dylan. It's been an honor. All right.
As a coach, I know one of my favorite basketball coaches kind of does this, Joe Mazzulla, where he'll put, guy on the bench in the starting lineup one night just to give him experience, even if it means, we don't win this game. Now in those practices, now that guy has experience.
Yeah.
And now, you start to build a group and you start to really develop a culture. And that's why I like the move of putting your B team to start for you in a World Cup. I don't know the reasons he did it, but it seems like a move that's very developmentally oriented.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that it's great to see because then just like you said, not just for the practices, but for the competitions, when they get into those intense moments again, they've been there. They've had those lights on them. They've had that pressure. And for all you know, that could be enough to send it over the edge. And you see that happening in at least Epee. The Japanese team likes to cycle through people, the Kazakh team as well, as we see China's doing it.
Yeah.
And this is the time where everyone's just trying to give different looks to new people. Today, the U.S. team, Gabe Feinberg fenced his first team event.
Oh, wow.
And they did pretty well. The U.S. team finally, after the last two devastating losses that we've had in teams, we made it to the round of 16. We lost, sadly, to the Swiss team in the round of 16.
What was the score?
It was 45-38. We
Okay.
just didn't have enough. We beat Poland with a great comeback in the last two legs. And then with Switzerland, we just didn't have enough juice to go all the way. We started out a little down, then we tied it up, and then we got down and we couldn't, bring it back. But still, that U.S. team with Gabe Feinberg getting new looks. We're going to have other people, Elijah Emmerich, going to get some new looks, and these younger generation guys that are going to be future team members.
Yep.
And that's really what it is. You're just priming people to succeed. Then the U.S. got a good win against Germany, lost to the Olympic champions Hungary, but
yeah, and when you make decisions like that and you trust in everyone to go out there and perform, then you see over time who loves competition, who embraces competition, and I think that's very important. Who's going to be the talented guy that, has gotten a lot of results previously, but then, starts to crumble a little bit or his confidence starts to crumble a little bit when, he has to sit out a match. Who's going to be the person that rises to the occasion and continually shows up and wants to compete? I love moves like that. I love when coaches kind of claim authority of a program and a culture and it's their players' jobs to match it and rise to their
I
standard.
like the way you brought that up. Who loves the competition? Just gonna double check here and make sure that no, it's live. We're just waiting. So we have a comment here from Julius Den 7424. I think Durant still has a black card from Fujairah. That's why Benny is there. So that is some
Okay.
lore
That's
that I would love to hear about.
Black card is crazy. How do you
Yeah,
get the black
I'd
card?
love to hear about if anyone knows why Daniel Durant has a black card from Fujairah. Please let me know. And yeah, that's a great opportunity for Benny Steffen to get in there, regardless of the reason why. It's really cool that he's there helping out because he didn't have to. Did you know that Durant had a black card?
I did not. Now I
Yeah.
got another story.
That's pretty funny.
I hope he crashed out.
Probably.
I think that's pretty
emphatically.
likely.
I have a feeling.
I hope
there
it was a good
generational crash out.
Hell yeah. Shout out to all my crash out fencers, You make life entertaining, whether you want to admit it or not.
Do you want to shout any out specifically?
Oh man, I don't know, but just to give you an example,
I've been that guy.
Oh yeah, I've been that guy too, so many times. And guess what? I don't regret any bit of it. Maybe a couple times.
You're sitting with the French team is just
Whoa!
this Korean
Look
team.
at the French team. Oh my
And
god!
the Korean team. This is going to be quite a fun matchup.
I'm
French team,
curious in the
shortest
facial
guy out
expressions here.
there, probably 6'1", 6'2", with
Yeah.
Bardenay.
And France looks confident. I got to be honest. Just off facial expressions here.
I mean, that's a team, Nick, that bleeds medals. And they literally
Bleeds medals.
like they have so many medals.
They rack them up.
That it's in their blood. At Ryan Griffiths 6769, Durant was at venue yesterday coaching. All right, thank you, Ryan, for clarifying that.
Thank you, Ryan.
Looks like he is not banned from the venue.
Dude, who's the guy all the way on our left of the French team?
That is Alexander Bardenay. He is their top-ranked fencer right now.
Look at the look on his face,
He
man.
is
He
legend.
is
He's
serious
an intense guy, and that guy knows how to win. If there's
Yeah.
anything that we'll say about him is he's the most experienced person on this stage other than Park Sang-young, but he's still more experienced. He's older. He's been at that level for longer. Park Sang-young from Korea, second guy from the right there, is the 2016 Olympic champion. We have him and Bardenay as the two leaders of their respective teams, and we'll see what happens. Bardenay is the only member of the last French dominant squad to still be in right now.
Bardenay, two-time team world champion, one-time silver medalist.
And one-time Olympic snub.
Yeah, one-time Olympic
there was
snub.
a lot of infighting in the French system leading up to the Paris Olympics, a lot of politics, a lot of politicking, and they treated some of their top athletes pretty poorly. Bardenay being the one who drew the shortest stick and while being very qualified. And this doesn't speak anything about any other athletes out there. I'm just saying that Bardenay has been one of the top fencers in the world for
based
a long
on results
time.
and world ranking.
Just results and world ranking alone, he got yanked off their Olympic team, and that caused a lot of tension. And it's beautiful to see him back fencing at a high level, winning bouts. So that's what I'll say.
It's such a tricky thing, right? Because at the end of the day, the country wants to win medals, right? And so the coaches are trying their best. I'll even credit them with some good faith. Maybe that's not earned, but they're trying their best to put the best team forward that has a chance to win the gold medal, right? Depending on the system, sometimes there are point standings that do that. Sometimes that's pure subjectivity from the coach or the panel who selects that team. It's not as objective as simply these are the top 4 ranked XYZ in the world, and we're going to go with them. They're trying their best to get that gold. And so unfortunately for Bardenay, he got pulled from that team leading up to the games.
I mean, it resulted in that coach ultimately is no longer in France. So
Lost a lot of respect and
clearly,
trust from the rest of the squad.
very sad for their program. But anyways, here we have a really exciting matchup to start out.
Yeah,
Park
I'm
Sang-young-
amped right now. This is This is kind of like a David versus Goliath little situation here. I'm
Yeah.
curious if France is going to get a little too cocky.
Park Sang
you
Young
know?
might be Goliath, though.
No one is cocky here. Park Sang-young, 2016 Olympic champion, had many ups and downs in his career, currently on a resurgence arc, and it's really cool to see him back on the team.
Love
John
that.
Joseph, though, junior world champion, hadn't really found his flow in seniors, has now made a handful of results and is finding himself on the team.
Nice touch.
And fencing really well. He's really upped his overall athleticism, his ability to move, which was some of the biggest factors limiting his performance before. You know, he's such a big dude. He didn't have that explosive power, and he didn't have the endurance to move a lot for a long time. And look at him, you know, again, clearly slower than Park, but it doesn't really matter if he's able to keep those steps small, keep himself mobile, and just shoot his tip out.
He's just
when he
controlled
has
the
to.
distance
Yeah.
and where he wants it better than Park has.
Yeah. And
But I
Park
mean-
doing so much to get a reaction here and getting nothing. And that's really good for John Joseph, being able to control all of that. Like you said, and
Ooh.
On the remise on the hand, it looked like
he's just he can hit.
he's just sharp.
He can hit. And
John Joseph's blade actions look a little big
yeah,
for
'cause
me right now.
They are.
Yeah.
It's not because they look big, they are big. That's not really what is a big piece of his fencing. The strongest piece of his fencing is the distance control, as Dylan stated, and then just being able to power through. He's got a really deep attack, and he can go through opposition on the blade. Most people are not out muscling this guy. So as long as he can get the leverage, he's gonna win the moment.
Well, I also think he does a good job of surprising and changing up between
Yeah.
counterattacks and parry repos. So
Yeah.
on his second touch, obviously he's a French fencer. He's going to be mainly playing straight.
There we go. We saw it.
And
Great-
then
great attack
surprises with
there.
6 pair repos,
Yeah.
surprises with an on the blade action. So I think he does a good job of mixing those up.
Yeah, and he's really worked hard to improve that game, because he's one of those fencers that was already traveling a couple of years ago, but we've seen improvements every year. And that's what you love to see in seniors, because it's so easy to just stagnate. I've done it myself, and it's really, really challenging to just keep pushing the bounds of what's possible.
John Joseph, I like that he's not forcing the issue.
Yeah,
He's just letting
good,
what
good
comes to him.
consistent pressure. You know, that's
Yeah.
something that we talk about is how can you be assertive but not overdoing it, right? Not giving your opponent times just like that, where you're
Oh.
stepping in too much and can't get out.
And
And
Park is so fast, guys. I know he's aging and all that stuff. He's not the same Park that he was when
even
he was 20.
80% of Park Sang-young
This
compared to his
dude
peak
so explosive.
is crazy.
I'm gonna get a charger for the computer. Uh-oh.
We'll hold it down. Don't worry.
Feels like John Joseph is getting read a little bit here by Park. You know, Park is starting to pick up some of that timing.
Yeah, I think the tricky thing for
Oh,
and that's just too
wow.
big. Right? No need to push that much. John Joseph, that's an easy counterattack, breaking distance, dropping. low
Yep,
for
he's
Park.
starting to force the issue a little bit, and Park just knows how to respond here.
And he's very experienced.
Yeah,
He's been here before.
a composed bout after he was down 3-1.
Mhm.
3 completely different touches too
Nice
to come
advanced lunge
back.
by Park.
Oh, I missed it.
Just easy takeover, advanced lunge from Park to the body.
Nice.
Couldn't see if he closed through 6. That might have just been straight, but
I mean,
Good
again,
initiative.
guys, this is an Olympic champion. He's been here before. A stage is not what is keeping him from winning and losing. It's simply, is he physically and mentally ready to perform?
Yeah.
And it
the
looks
human
like he is.
condition.
No, it's true, but I'm saying some people get nervous. That guy does not get nervous.
No.
His Olympic final, he won while being down 14-10.
Wow.
You know, this guy, if you're putting him in a position where he can deliver, he's going to deliver. So Hwang Hyunil, one of the newer names and faces on the circuit for Korea, a French gripper, the new meta internationally. French grips are so back, especially from Korea. You haven't seen a really strong righty French grip since Jung Jin Sun, that has like truly, established himself as a member of that team. So it's cool to see yet another attempt. We'll see how he goes. I'm not familiar with his game.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see this Korean squad over the last couple of years, that their floor is so high for technical standards, for tactical standards, who's showing up at this World Cup. If you're going to fence a Korean, you know it's going to be a tough bout. However, outside of Kwon, Park Sang-young, Ma, a little bit,
Ma's gotten some.
there
good
hasn't
results.
been a really dominant Korean in a couple of years.
Yeah, we saw.
At least on the men's side. Women's dominating. Sarah Song.
Yeah. It's really their men's program there. But yeah, they haven't had. There was a moment where Korea had 3-4 guys in the top 16, and that's.
I do wonder if some of it is the recent success of their men's saber program, or younger fencers wanting to join the O's of the
Their
world.
saber team is sick.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Like if you're 12 years old in Korea right now,
Yeah.
starting fencing, you're probably going to want to do saber over
Definitely.
Epee, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh,
Good timing.
Oh,
Too passive from Huang.
Good push from Galley.
I like that Galley's just mixing up the attacks here. You know, Huang it looks like he's going for the same type of touch.
Galley's an interesting fencer because he's fenced on these stages with a pistol grip.
I was
and a
just
French
thinking
grip.
that.
Most fencers
He's
have
back.
not had that experience, to have senior medals with a French and with a pistol grip. So it's cool to see this guy, try to really find his own, what works best for me, what's best for my body type, my mental. And right now it's a French grip.
I much prefer him as a French grip fencer.
I think he's a lot more playful with the French grip.
I
With
agree.
the pistol grip, he's so tense and he just wasn't able to really bring out his truest fencing. Like, look at him. He's playing right now. He's soft. With the pistol grip, there's just a lot more pressure for him to keep his tip on.
Touche. Oh, got to
Interesting.
hit that.
Interesting. I thought he hit that flush.
Looks like it.
It looks like fencing with the pistol grip definitely had a positive effect on his fencing, though. You see the blade actions. He's not one-dimensional. And he's not just looking for the counterattack. No.
No, he's looking to push.
But
he's
he
looking to catch
can.
up.
He can if you want to, try him.
Really interesting from Galley here. We saw a moment where he was just not moving at all.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. I mean, but it goes to show, Dylan, talking about the lack of dominance from the Koreans right now. There isn't a fear. When people get on strip with Tristan Tulin right now, you're going to struggle.
Mhm.
You know that if he steps forward, you're going to have to step back or you're going to have to do something.
It's going to be a fight.
Galley not feeling that pressure from his opponent right now. The reason that he's not winning this bout for his team isn't because of some type of imposing opponent that he's facing. It's more of just trying to find the right moment, hit the time when he does actually shoot his attack out. He's got to finish. I like that he went for it, but it seemed like a lazy attack.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like, let's just go. Let's get this situation over with. And he's
Yeah.
done that a few times. And it's, again, Korea benefiting from that. Korea benefiting from the fact that he's not working Huang to the point of, no return. Galley's just taking his time. And it's not a problem, but it's also not the quintessential French style, right?
Definitely not. I mean, Galley is not fencing his most creative right now. We've seen him being much more playful, threatening the foot, threatening the hand, really hitting those touches and making the opponent feel that pressure. And right now, it's pretty much just like mess around from out of distance, rip an advanced flesh, double touch. And if you're Huang, I mean, this is the same role that Rafael Tulin was playing in the bronze medal match, right?
Yeah.
Absorb the pressure, no big risks. Stick your arm out when they flush, get a double touch, and that's exactly what you want. You're up
This
2
seemed like
touches.
the exact bout Huang won.
Yeah, as
Yep,
far as
coming
team
into it.
fencing goes, that was a great
100%.
match.
Yeah.
And honestly, not a bad match from Galley. 4-4. You want a fencer in a team who's willing to go 4-4 a lot more than a fencer who's going to push it and go -3, -4 in that match.
Trevor Shepard, I totally agree. Greatest victory for Park Sang-young was over Joey Rafidi in the top 16 of Junior Worlds. I was there.
As a cadet fencer.
I didn't see that bout, unfortunately, but I did see Joey coming back to the pod afterward with PTSD. And I remember him telling me, like, he was so fast. I couldn't do anything. He was so fast. And at the time, I was like, yeah. All right. It sounds like you just got cooked. And then a year later, he busts onto the scene and like maybe 2 years later and wins Doha.
It was a year and a half later.
Insane. I was like, okay, Joey, I'm sorry for doubting you.
Here we go.
Because Doha
Bart
used to
May.
be a December tournament. So it was like December 2014.
Good for the palm trees.
Oh, Barden.
Just a classic Barden
Oh.
touch, right? Advance high, drop low with the surprise.
So here, Jang Hyomin, another name not used to seeing, but he's going to have a hard bout. Bardenay is the Tulin of this team match. He's the guy who can put a huge whooping on your opponents if you allow him to. And the French team just wants to give him a high ceiling, let this guy cook.
Guys, Zhang's fencing, how similar to Favre's fencing from Switzerland does that look? The movement and the hand position, I think, is identical.
That was a
Yeah.
great remise.
Remise.
Was that not a remise? I thought he missed the first and then
Maybe
he
it
hit
was.
his hand.
No. Foilless eyes are better than Epeeist eyes. So I gotta.
That might just be you, Ari.
All right. So Dylan, what was it? Ooh,
Oh.
great.
That was a remise.
That was.
Or a reprise, technically,
But
I
it
think.
started with a solid timed attack on prep. Bardenay not ready to repost, ready to get the blade out of the way, but not much after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at
Early
Zhang.
lead for Korea here.
Ooh,
Oh,
another
owning that foot.
touch. This is fun. Thank you, Bardenay.
Bardenay. Come on.
Bardenay is
Everyone
like a
together
foot
say
touch
thank you,
and a
Bardenay.
Flesh clinician.
But let's see
So-
right here. He's got to capitalize off that momentum.
He will.
Okay.
I'm on Team Bardenay here.
Bardenay, even in his older age, has some of my favorite footwork in the game.
I don't think it's changed at all. Older age. I think his footwork looks
Just it's a
I know.
5% slower.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
But your eyes, I mean, we've already established, not the best.
That's true. That's true.
Feels like Zhang has a good strategy here, though. He's not trying to force the issue, except right there.
Previous to that, he wasn't trying to force the issue.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show how challenging it is with these 5-touch ceilings. The adjustments are going to come a lot more quickly than they are in a 15. In
Mhm.
15, you're going to explore a little bit more. In a 5-touch bout like this, Bardenay, he's just going to make that change and say like, okay, I made that mistake. I have to adjust right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny to see the people that can match their individual and teams fencing the most tend to be the most successful. But sometimes you'll see people flourish in like a
Oh.
team event and not come out as hard in an individual bout, and vice versa. Someone will be really free in an individual bout and then feel constrained by the team event.
It's a very different kind of psychological pressure, right? You got teammates, you don't want to let them down, or sometimes for other people, you want to step up for your teammates.
Yeah.
Where'd Zhang just hit him? The hand?
Hand
Okay.
looked like on top of the hand with a little flicker, maybe outside.
Ooh,
Nice.
really
Too far away.
clean.
And good setup, right? That's similar to what we saw
Yeah.
from Van Noon in the other bout. Little 6 invitation, get the attack. Easy 2-pair repost.
I think something interesting for everyone watching here, all 28 of you. I think in senior fencing, there's this common misconception that everything needs to be overly complex and all this beautiful technique and stuff. The simpler, the better. And look how simple that last touch was. You jump in with a very small 6 opening and a very, very clean 8 repost. There's no and then I flicked in, went under the hand, then we went to the foot and all this, just a 1-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so many actions in seniors are just these straight lunges. The complexity usually comes from how well these people are moving or setting it up or getting into distance or the ways that they're distracting their opponents. That's where it gets complex. But the actual actions that you're seeing are so simple and beautiful. And that's a very common misconception in fencing.
I
The
agree.
more actions I can learn and execute right now, the better I'll be. No. The better you can get at doing 2 things and just having your opponent wonder which one it's going to be, the better you are.
I mean, look at Tulin's game, right? His main 2 actions are 6-pair repost and advanced lunge through 8,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? And how can he trick you into doing the thing that he actually wants you to do?
Yeah.
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 Also,
Shout out to Zhang. That bout. That was a huge
That's a huge
win.
win.
Yeah, big win.
big difference in score now.
He had a
4
target on
touches
his
is
back
a-
for the
is a
French team.
Mile.
yeah.
Came in
and
and held it down.
I came in, talking about how Bardenay is the guy who's going to be able to go and be the gunslinger, and to shut down a gunslinger like that is huge, not only
Oh, yeah.
for team morale, but for individual confidence, and, huge for the momentum swings that this bout will take, because a +2, you add that to another +2. Now your team's up by 4. And that puts that pressure on John Joseph here.
I'm interested in this bout because
Very
he and
interesting.
Gally do fence pretty similarly as
Yep.
tall dudes. But Jean Joseph, pistol grip fencer, goes through the blade more frequently. I'm curious about this matchup. Is he going to push, look to go through with opposition, and punish the French grip fencer?
But that might expose some really interesting fencing from the Korea side. A lot of the Korean French grips historically known for some really, really intense flexibility and yielding pairs, which would be really cool to see. I mean, we didn't get to see that much from Gally or Huang. It was kind of a, I don't want to say boring bout, but it just, like that. Really nice touch to the leg. Okay. We'll be remembering Jang and Huang from Korea. Wow, some really exciting new blood on the team.
Huang just kind of like lulled him to sleep there. You know, they were bouncing, they were in distance, and then you hadn't seen him put a attack out like that all day or all bout.
Oh, I love that setup from Huang. Just whiffed it, unfortunately. Right idea, right over the shoulder. But the timing was good.
Yeah, these guys were not watching Oh Sang-gook when they were younger. They were watching Jung Jin-sung and Park. All
Good
right,
double.
we'll take that if you're Huang. John Joseph, a lot of pressure, but you got to get Huang to extend his arm.
I mean, this is the issue that Gally ran into, right?
Yeah.
He's not doing anything special. He's not going through the blade. He's just trying to close out hard and fast, and Huang is able to
but
go out for
for
the
a
double.
fencer with so much power, you want to utilize that. You got to get Huang to extend his arm, commit to a counterattack, or even an attack there. That's
good.
better. Oh,
That's what he wants.
The fear of committing.
He didn't know what he wanted. He was trying to counterattack to the hand when if he would just take 6 and go in.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need to go 6. He just needs to go in, and then the blade would have to end in 6 or 4 or something, right? Like at that point, you got the counterattack.
Go to the body.
Go. But alas, here we are.
That's better.
Oh,
Little broken tempo. Yeah, he's got to get more creative, right? If it's just push flesh, it's going to be a double every time.
dude, Huang's blade is terrifying when he starts to like actually use it.
He's super active with the point,
It
right?
comes out of nowhere. Yeah.
Nice touch.
Threatening low, going high.
And that's just John Joseph not seeing the invitation, not seeing the cues, pushing really
Too hard.
I wonder what he's being told in the box, because
That was like an
as
8
far as-
second touch.
Yeah, I mean, but back to back to back. I mean, as far as team fencing goes, you do want to put pressure on your opponent, but they're ending up on Huang's side of the strip so quickly, and Huang is still putting his lights on. You gotta imagine that maybe you slow it down. You still have a minute and a half left in this period. You want to make that last. Like, the longer you're on strip, the more experience you're going to get, the more opportunities you're going to get to make your opponent make a mistake, especially if you're putting all this pressure on and it's not working. If it's working, ride the horse that brought you here. But it's not working. Look, and instead of
You gotta switch it up. Yeah.
instead of an imposing comeback or anything, you whiffed it. You're down by even more than when you came in.
A minute
and
left.
There's over a minute left.
This is, I think, a difficult part psychologically for this French team.
Absolutely.
It's France men's Epee finals. You know the stakes that come with that. You're the big dog. You won 7 world championships in the last, let's say, 2 decades or more than that, right? You're the number 1 team, all this history, and there's a certain level of expectation being the French team, especially against a Korean team where 2 of the guys fencing we had not known before, right? So what I think that leads to is this amount of pressure and putting the blinders on when you're in this bout, right? You feel the pressure and the stakes of, I should be beating this guy. I've made a finals. I'm a world champion, whatever. And it blocks a level of creative fencing and thinking outside the box for these fencers. And so when you're just seeing them push and go straight and not taking risks and setting things up, I think that's more of a mental barrier than a tactical one. We know they can do beautiful things.
And they're all great fencers. So interesting to see the battle of the OGs.
This is the battle right here.
Nice. Just a little too close.
Yeah. Park not fully
Didn't know what he
committed to
wanted
the
there.
idea. Yeah. It's okay. Because Bardenay knew what he wanted.
Yeah, Bardenay looks like he's going to be a little bit more sharp, a little bit more calculated after last bout.
His point is just so threatening.
Yeah, without ever really fully extending.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if we're going to see a little classic Park 6 invitation go through 8. Up. Second one, most likely.
No
No,
way.
no.
I didn't see when the light went on, but the little guy on the bottom of the screen didn't go off until way after.
So if you're Bardenay, do you think that's the strategy? Push Park and just wait for him to try and make a counterattack and then catch him off time?
We've seen Park fleshing from out of distance in his first bout. So that to me would be the strategy. You can
What
get
he
him
did right there.
exactly. Either prepping too close, like he did on the first touch, and that's a counterattack, or like he did on this one, throw a stop thrust, try and see if you can get a free shot, and then instantly parry, protect yourself, and close out.
And although they didn't give him that point, I will agree with Dylan here again. I do think it was the right idea. And I think putting Park in that box in the end of his strip is good because he's such a strong attacker. He's going to attack.
Yeah, and you don't want to give a guy that can move that well room to operate, you know?
Exactly.
If you can constrain him.
Oh, but he's also a strong counterattacker.
Yeah, it's a very strong counterattacker.
I mean, this is classic game, right? Show high, get the extension, drop low.
Yeah. Bardenay, though, in this team final, only being able to really hit the foot super well. Like not seeing his flushes are so strong, and we haven't seen a single one. And that's something that's interesting to me as a viewer because maybe he's not feeling it.
Good idea, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's a curious strategy. Maybe he's holding that. You know, maybe he's waiting to bring that out in the right moment. This is the time right here.
This is the time to do it.
You're down 5 in the 5th leg. You got to rip it now.
Okay,
It's
it's
the finals. It's not like he's doing one and that's the golden ticket. Like this guy, when he wins tournaments, is fleshing 80% of the touches.
Oh, really?
Yeah. His foot touch, his flesh attack are lethal. He does a great half advanced flush. We're not seeing any of it here. Good invitations to these pair reposts, but again, Park is.
Oh, I like that.
That's what he's
I
looking
like
for.
that.
Put pressure. Park doesn't have a lot of room to operate. Get him to flush when you're ready.
So now it's this balance, right? Like how much do you want to keep him honest and show that you're really attacking versus how much do you want to draw it out? Because he's gotten 3 touches drawing out the attack from Park.
Well, Bardenay has scored or at least stopped Park from scoring on both flushes that he's gotten from Park. So I would say that's what you're looking for.
Oh, I think that's a touch.
Yeah,
definitely a touch. Pair repost game is working for Bardenay. Draw out Park's attack.
Yeah. And now 40 seconds.
I say go for one more.
Go for one.
If you can get one here, we definitely got a bout. Or even not going.
Yeah, interesting tactical opportunity here for France. Paul Fortin not fencing at all yet in this team match, but he's a fencer who's great at putting on that pressure, adding discomfort for his opponents. This could be a great tactical substitution for the French team to use him against the Koreans, who are doing a great job just absorbing the pressure that the French team's putting on. And I think he could potentially really help change the momentum here.
I agree.
And great.
It looks like he's going to let it ride.
Yeah.
Unless he pulls this flesh out.
No.
Great bout.
Yeah.
Bardenay.
I think
Great
that was
bout.
the right call.
Yeah.
Take the 2 points. You're back in it.
That's the right
little
call
by
from Park,
little.
too.
Yeah. But Bardenay lost 2 touches when he got antsy and tried to attack, you know?
And then he scored 4 when he wasn't.
When you waited for the moment. Let him give it to you.
Getting subbed in. Oh, no. Yeah. Quan Omen, they're changing the name.
Wow. After Jane got the win against Bardenay. Very interesting.
This could be a tactical thing.
Stylistic
Lefty
matchup.
versus Eimer Galley. Quan Omen not doing too hot against the Americans he's fenced this season, but otherwise having a pretty solid year, making the second day. I want to say Elijah and Gabe.
And look at this. Super dynamic. You can see the athleticism off the rip.
This is going to be an interesting bout.
I'm a little worried how big the jumps in from Quan are. If Gali can take advantage, hit him in that foot tempo, that is going to be a problem. That's good. Staying right at that distance.
How long can he do it for? It's a lot of discipline.
See. Is he just coming in for one bout? If so,
yeah.
I think he also lost a crease.
Oh,
that's the touch we're looking for.
And it's kind of what you guys were talking about with Galley. He looks like he's a little bit lethargic
Yeah,
to an
flat-footed.
extent out there, you know? It looks like he has a lot of opportunities that he's not striking on.
I'm actually seeing that for all three of the French fencers right
Yeah.
now. Like something about their footwork is just not as crisp as it normally is. Even
Maybe they're
Bardenet.
tired. Maybe they're tired. We're
I
right
mean,
at
we're in
that
the final.
point where,
Yeah.
well, not only that, it's
It's
back
true.
to back to back competitions. This
Yeah.
is the third one right before a nice little break that they're going to have for about a month,
Ooh.
Big risk.
right? We're about to have a month-long break until Budapest, but Heidenheim is always such a grueling tournament
Grind.
because you're coming from 2 back-to-back tournaments. Actually, usually it's just one. This year it's back-to-back because they rescheduled, but it's in the winter. It's usually snowing there.
You're on
It's-
der Brenz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to get to. So just
While we have this break, maybe we talk about the struggle of the journey that it is to get to Heidenheim and why we even have it in this small little German town in the first place. It is so annoyingly placed in between Stuttgart and Munich
Mhm.
and Frankfurt. Anyway, you've got to take pretty much a 90-minute train to get there, no matter where you're coming from, or rent a
No, it's
car.
like 3 hours of trains. Most people don't fly to Stuttgart, do you?
I've gone there.
I've never flown to Stuttgart.
I think I've done all three at some point.
No, it's not easy, but it is one of the tournaments that's been around for so long that's still here, and that's the jump in that you're talking about, Dylan. Galley can just see it. He's
They're
trying to
so
pull
far
for
away. I
that
don't care how
comeback.
fast Quan is, and he's extremely fast.
Dude,
it's
Quan's
just too far away.
coming in and just going for it.
Lightning in a bottle.
Every
Yeah.
touch here. He's just making it. I don't know. He's making the action happen here.
I mean, this is what you want from a sub. Come in, put some energy in the bout.
Yeah.
I don't think Korea was lacking energy though. I think we needed to see that substitution on the French side, but I hate to see it. Having to jump off the stage every
Yes.
single touch is
You just hold your breath every time.
I
they're in
was
the air.
holding mine, and it's so frustrating to watch. Like their safety matters more to me than whatever display of whatever that this stage is. Oh,
Mm.
a nice touch. Galley's nicest touch of the team final thus
Definitely.
far on a nice leg touch. At Ryan Griffiths, Heidenheim is the worst. At Steven Ewert, Schloss.
Schloss Hotel.
Schloss Hotel, yes. And Heidenheim is the worst from Ryan Griffiths.
That being said,
Ryan, you've been there one time. There's some allure to it. Calm down. It's a good place to go.
I'm sure it's a nice place to raise a family.
Yeah. Maybe you just didn't eat enough Schwabian food.
I do love Schwabian pasta.
Heidenheim is located in a region of Germany called Schwabia, and they do have
It's probably Schwabia.
Schwabia, probably, but it's a pretty yummy culture as far as food goes. I do like.
I was just pulling up my Google Maps to shout out two of the best restaurants in Heidenheim. It's a very small town, but the restaurant Weinstube zum
Oh my god!
Pfauen.
No, Weinstube is great. A backflick from Eimerick Galley.
I love it.
He looks like he's woken up here.
He's having fun here.
Yeah, and Quan is making that very possible.
He's
Right,
just
forward,
flushing
right,
every
He's
time.
forcing the issue, and now
Yeah.
Galley's starting to get a rhythm. You
Yeah.
know, that's another thing you got to think about is you don't want to wake someone up. You
No,
know,
you don't.
You
You
don't-
poke the bear.
yeah.
He poked the bear. And was the other one the Syrian restaurant, Dylan?
Was it Syrian or Iraqi? We'll call it Middle Eastern food. Anyway, it's called the Orient Express restaurant.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh,
That was in the.
That's a yellow
no
card.
card.
That's
Come on,
something.
let him play.
That's gonna be a yellow card.
Oh, that's tough, man.
I don't
He's
think you
so
should go to
big.
video on that. I think you just take the card.
I
and
think
move
you
on.
might get a worse card. That
That's
looks like
what
a
I'm
guard to
saying.
the face. We might be seeing a red card on the right.
I don't think it
I
was a
thought it
guard to
was
the face,
At
but he did
Steven
fall.
Ewert, sad news. The mom who ran Weinstube passed away 2 years ago.
No.
Moment of silence. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Sweet
at
lady.
Steven Ewert, is Weinstube still open? Please, we must know.
Moment of
Is it
silence.
still in
She was such
operation?
a sweet lady. And
Yeah.
that food, the duck, the Schwabian pasta, incredible. It looks like it's still open, at least based on Google Maps.
Yes, from at Steven Ewert. Okay, so if you ever find yourself passing through or near, getting that red card as
Red?
anticipated, yes.
Oh,
Galley goes to video
my
and
God.
shoots himself in the leg, loses a touch.
Oh, yellow.
No,
yellow,
just yellow.
yellow.
Just
Okay,
yellow.
just yellow. Okay.
All right, let's go.
No, it looks like okay.
You just got to take that card and move on.
But anyways,
Yeah.
if you're
He
near
immediately did
there at Stephen Newart confirming still delicious, it is a great place to eat. Or nearby, go out of your way to go to Weinstube. It is worth your
I
time.
kind of like the Orient Express better. Trust me, the name
too.
is not good. It sounds like a panda situation, but I think it's a Rocky
meat
food.
is falling off the bones.
Oh,
Galley.
oh man,
He's found it.
Quan. Come on, you got to hit that, bro.
You got to guess why the Korean team wanted to sub Quan in for this.
The coach is probably sweating right now a little.
And I still believe that putting in Fortin is a good option, even after the swing towards the French team.
Well, I don't know about that now because Jean-Joseph, what he was lacking in creative fencing earlier in the bout, is going to do them a big solid for this. Now, if he goes and pushes and gets a double, that's what France wants. He doesn't need creative fencing now. We need strong actions that are going to result in the double.
France taking the lead.
All right.
Oh,
Big
man,
swing.
that was a consequential bout.
I agree. Let's see. Huang, though. We did like Huang's fencing that we saw in his previous matchup.
He hasn't lost yet.
Jean-Joseph.
Or the first one was against Galley. They tied, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
think he was
your
plus
statement's
one.
still true.
Yeah, he hasn't. Wow, thank you.
Your statement's still true. He hasn't lost yet. But he's facing the gunslinger.
This is the biggest matchup.
This is huge.
I
Interesting.
like Huang's fencing a lot. I think he
do.
can
I
put
do
good
too.
pressure and still attack.
Yeah.
What I'm interested in is the decision to not anchor Bardenay. He's the guy that I want if I'm
Agreed.
France anchoring that team. And
We got Gotti.
not that it's an issue. They're going to be anchoring Galley. He anchored them in Vancouver. He's been anchoring them, and he's good. But it's just an interesting
40-40
decision.
going into that last one. How you feeling?
If it's 40-40,
Galley's
Park
been
Sang
fencing, it
Young
looked
and
like
Galley. After the last one, I say Galley versus Park. Galley will have it because he is very free and he's
Okay.
fluid and he's getting that experience and he's huge.
I would take Park in that matchup,
All right. Well, we're gonna see it.
just based on pure experience
Whoa.
alone. If it's 40-40.
Yeah. All right. 25.
And the difference
24.
with Park is he can be lethal lunging to the short target on the hand.
That's true. But what about Huang versus Bardenay?
I love Huang. I love his fencing. I think he puts
I love
crazy
the way
pressure
Huang's
on.
been fencing.
I love how sharp he is with the point.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, the foot
Bardenay
touch.
with the foot touch. You know, we talked about we haven't seen that flesh come out from Bardenay. We have seen foot touches, and that is where he's comfortable right now. Just finding the pattern in his opponent's footwork and the distance to be able to launch it. I rarely see Bardenay getting counterattacked on his foot touch because he finds the time to do it right when it's not in critical distance. He's always able to get out if he misses.
Well, the other thing too is his point and flesh, as we talked about, is so threatening that if he's starting forward with the point, you have to respect it and you have to break distance. Very rarely are people crashing in when they see arm extending, and then at the last minute he's dropping.
right as their foot's about to leave the ground to go back, and that's why they find themselves so vulnerable. Nick, as a foilist, and we know you like Tulin's fencing in this match. Not just this matchup. In this match, who's the most exciting for you to watch?
Well, I will say it looks a little different. Bardenay's fencing looks a little different when he's fencing with a lead. You know, he looks like he's letting the game come to him a lot more and letting it ease into it. But I've loved the way Huang has fenced this match. I think he's been really deceptive and he never forces the issue. And then when his moment comes, he's really decisive.
I agree. He's been my favorite so far too.
But I like when Bardenay can let the game come to him. Right now, it looks like he's just, fencing within himself, not forcing anything. And the second Huang does, a little mistake there, Bardenay's ready to strike.
That was an interesting touch.
That was.
I don't
really
think he
interesting.
expected Huang to go for a parry there.
No.
As a Frenchman, I like Quan Omen's fencing the most. He really
Keep
helped.
fleshing at me, please.
He really helped the French team. That was we talked about bout management and how one match could really make it or break it for your team as far as putting them into a hole. Quan Omen with a really poorly managed substitution bout. It's really hard coming off the bench, and I love the energy that he brought. But look at this, the swing in the last two matches and being down on France. We talked about being down on Toulon. Being down on France is harder than being down on Toulon and the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
And no disrespect to the Netherlands, they're great. I don't want to be down against Tristan Toulon if I'm fencing, but France as a team is they know how to fence with the lead. And you said it here, Nick. He's fencing differently now that he's got the lead. That's because this is where they're comfortable. This is where they don't have to try to fence up or down to their opponent. They are just fencing their game.
Yep.
And it is like he's not forcing anything. He knows he did a great job.
Well, it's also the priority cards too.
Yeah.
Right? France is totally comfortable going to the minute, getting priority cards because it means that now Korea has to push. And every minute we got to put a light on, otherwise France is going to win.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Hwang was in a great position to start this bout. Pushing doesn't really seem to be his game. And then Bardenay is just letting the game come to him.
Well,
you know, I'm curious what this bout would have been if Korea
Bardenay has to push.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think this speaks to what Ari was saying in terms of simplicity of the game at a senior level too. Bardenay, when he has a lead, is just going to push, keep his hand high. He's going to counterattack, or he's going to go in straight, or he's going to go and hit the foot. But all these actions really are just staying in this 6 line unless he needs to come over and parry. But with the lead, he's totally okay doubling out or catching you unaware going in with his own attack. But in terms of tactical, not too much. And here we do.
Ari called it. Ari called the sub.
And they put Jang Hyomin back in for Kwon Omen. So they've taken out
Unsurprisingly.
John Joseph Kendrick and put in Paul Fortin. I think this is ultimately going to pan out well for them. Paul is great at being an uncomfortable fencer.
Former
Former
St. John's and New York area practice.
Well, he got to
Oh,
train with
shout
all the
out.
New York guys. He's a great
Great dude.
individual. Everyone loves him. But look at that, putting in the same energy Kwon was, but without forcing any actions early. And he's a big guy. He's a lefty. He's going to use those angles well, and he's going to force his opponent.
That last preparation was the
Yeah.
one thing I'm concerned on with Paul in this matchup versus a Korean
He's
is
going too
if
big.
it's too big on the preparation, normally against a less athletic fencer, he can get an attack and counterattack. But these Koreans are so fast and so quick that if they're fleshing right into that timing, it's going to be difficult.
Jong, this bout and last, he's unassuming, man. He's very unassuming.
Take a T.
Oh,
This freaking stage.
I knew you were going to say
Yeah.
that. I agree.
What the hell? It bothers me to no end, and I'm sorry.
no worries. No worries. Shot. Yeah. Let him
Now
know.
that was exactly what Jong wants to do and what Paul wants to avoid, right? Getting into a blade battle, right? If you're Paul, you're trying to avoid the blade at all costs. You're trying to keep this clean, counterattack straight to the body or the hand as much as you can. And Jong wants to hide his intention, but ultimately either go in closing the line or draw out Paul's attack so he can get parry repost.
Jong, to me, seems like the opposite of Kwon Omen, which is why I
Patient.
think the coach wanted that substitution. Yeah, he's very like, doesn't do anything that blows you away. That's so amazing, even though that last touch was sick.
Good
But
patience from Paul. Take over after Jong falls
absolutely
short to the foot.
I'll say this though, to comment on the Fav reference.
You see it?
I see it. I see a more technical on the blade, slightly less aggressive on the legs, like more, able to take circular parries.
Yeah,
type
I
of-
see it more in terms of the profile of the on guard and the hand
arch
position.
back, all of it.
Yeah,
dude.
but not enough double advances from Jong to be like Fav.
Yeah.
Fav is double advance,
Yeah.
advance flush.
Ooh, there we go. That's why
And that's where we
go.
Paul's using the angles, his height. I do think that this is ultimately going to be a really good decision. I don't think they're going to get all the way to 40.
Paul looks
What are
tough,
you looking
man.
at?
That was a
The
good
chat?
call, Ari. He looks really tough to fence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
Paul's
The
a
way
tough
he's
bout.
changing levels here,
yeah.
keeping the distance.
And it's hard not to respect his preps because he's big and he has.
And
these
he'll
really
finish if you don't
aggressive-
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be nervous when it comes to those decisive moments, Dylan, that you were talking about with Tulum, how he's so good at that. I'd be nervous in those decisive moments with 410.
Yeah. And he does.
He can
a good
punish
job.
you.
He gives me
right
that
there.
vibe.
He gets you to stop, and it seems he adds in that one extra fake where you think it's done, and then he can continue, and that's exactly what he wants.
I like
Oh
that
my
action.
gosh,
And
this
that was
stage.
dangerous. That was
Yeah,
dangerous.
and it shouldn't be. There was nothing dangerous about what he did, except for the fact that they're on a raised stage with no runoff room. Nothing dangerous. It's just a normal attack. I'll calm down. It's just upsetting.
No, I like that though. Keep bringing it up, bro. Let him know.
My hype man here.
Yeah, man.
Ryan, can I have him? Yeah, Paul Fortin turning into a great
Oh, good
substitution.
And John got what he wanted too.
Yeah. That's the touch you can't miss.
Yep.
And he's going to be thinking about that now. He's going to be like, fuck, I should have had that one. Sorry.
I mean, Paul is just hard defense, man. He's like 6'3", super long, French grip, and just puts an immense amount of pressure.
And he can remise.
It's not like he's passive and you have to do all the work. Like if you're not pushing on him, he's going to come get you.
Yeah. And that was a great remise on the last one, right? Like this guy, he's not scared of a fight. We talked about, Zhang winning that first touch. Paul recognized it, but he's not scared to bring the fight to Zhang as he did in that. Look,
yeah, 410. Let him know.
Yeah. He's just a giant Timothy Chalamet.
Someone had to bring the energy on this French team.
Yeah,
that was
man.
great. I was
He
calling
lit the
that out
spark
earlier.
right there. So Galley's going now. He's not the anchor.
No, he is.
He is the
the
anchor.
Oh, this is the. Oh shoot,
Yeah.
man! I'm not even looking. Score
You're
so
good.
low, bro. I'm not
You're
used
good.
to this.
You're good.
Well, I mean, this is kind of the ceiling issue that we were talking about earlier, right? You got an Olympic champion going up, yes, down 6 points, but big ceiling.
Yeah.
Right? He can afford to have as many doubles as he needs to and slowly crawl back. This one's interesting. I don't think it's guaranteed
No,
win to France here.
if Gali doesn't bring his A game here, he might be in a tough situation.
He's got to
soon.
eat up as much time in the early moments of this bout as he can, right?
Yeah,
Feet not moving is not a good sign for me because Park can punish you.
Okay. You think that was a little early from Park?
Probably, but that's
Yeah.
the doubles that
He's
Dylan was
feeling it
talking
out.
about.
Yeah, and
just
he has
wants
room
see.
to play with that right
Exactly.
now, with this score. That's a good way to use it.
Like if he rips that touch and it's a single, that changes the entirety of the bout.
Totally. Let's see.
Good pressure.
Staying aggressive. Oh,
And that's what we're talking about.
Golly, you're just standing there, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
And so now I think the game is going to be how much pressure can Gali push back still safely, though.
Yeah.
If he's like, okay, I really need to push and start, commanding presence on the strip, steps in too big, puts the point in the wrong situation. That's where this can open up for Park.
Come on, Golly. Come on.
Looks like a close through 4 line from Park on that flush. I'm interested to see if he can get Gali up high, and that's a good find.
Beautiful attack,
Yeah.
Golly. That was beautiful.
Drew him out, going backwards. Park steps in too big and ready to change direction with an attack.
Way to switch it up from that last touch,
Yep.
And his body language didn't change, so you could really deceive someone like that.
Another double. That's fine. Fine for both parties, honestly.
All right.
All right, a little mental reset for both fencers.
All right. Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious as to what's going to happen because Park had a really good action there, but the score is starting to go up. Time is slowly drifting away, and a lot of actions just happening in the middle of the strip. He's not getting reactions from Gali. He's going to need to get Gali to.
That's too rushed.
That felt like a huge 5 seconds there for Park.
Yep.
Big
swing.
Oh man.
That's probably going to be it.
Golly, once you let him find his rhythm, man.
Agreed.
He really
Credit to
just
him.
capitalizes off that momentum.
I was a little worried with the footwork. I didn't like how static it was. I think he's better when he's moving and creating a little bit more, but
I will say
he's setting up
that
well.
substitution for Quan Omen, man. I think it's playing ripple effects because if you kept a guy that really kept Gali in his head and guessing about what he was doing throughout this whole thing and kept the score a little closer for that next bout.
Yep.
I think it could have been a different story here.
I agree.
Agreed. And
I think Gali really started to heat up and feel his point.
absolutely. And the 410 substitution was great too.
Yeah.
Paul came in.
Keep the momentum rolling.
raised their lead or increased it, excuse me.
I like the idea, though.
Yeah, I don't know. 9 touches with a minute and a half. We've seen crazy things. I don't know if I've seen 9 touches in a minute and a half.
Oh,
Ooh.
come on. He's beating himself up. That would have been a
just
big
little
touch.
spanking.
Yep. All right. He's got to step on the gas here. Just make him nervous. Oh, That was sick.
dunked on him.
Yeah, it's
That was sick.
And that's what I'm saying. Galley with the French grip, you're seeing a lot more creative and fun stuff like that you're not necessarily seeing with him using a pistol grip. So I think it was a great change, and they clearly trust him. They've been using him as their anchor all year. Yeah, good on him for making the growth that he needs to.
Galley seems like a chill dude. You know what I mean? He just seems like one of those guys when you're at the club, you're like, oh, this guy's cool, man. You know, good conversation, post bout.
Talk to him. I have no idea.
He just seems like it. He seems like a chill guy.
He would always show up wearing different basketball jerseys.
Yeah, a lot of NBA jerseys.
Yeah, a lot of NBA jerseys. He clearly follows sports in the U.S.
Yeah. Is he from Guadalupe?
I don't know.
He seems like a really, you know, those guys at your club, they're super talented and they'll beat you and they didn't even try. And then you're like, oh, man, but you can't get, he just seems like
Can't
a
be
nice
mad
guy.
at him.
Yeah, I can't be mad at him, right?
Yeah.
If I was that talented, I'd do the same thing.
There you go.
He's not laughing in your face. He's
No,
just
no,
shaking your
yeah,
hand,
yeah.
asking you how your family's doing.
Totally. Oh,
That's just lazy, though. I
I
know
like
we're
that.
rolling down in time
is
here.
that that flexibility you were talking about with Gali? That little counter, that's that foil counterattack.
No, I was
No,
saying
that
that
was-
the Koreans have flexibility.
Oh, yeah, you did say that about Koreans.
And the Koreans have, I mean, we didn't really get to see it this bout. We saw one touch that Jong lost against.
Like Gali right there. He's pointing at him for like 5 seconds, you know? The dichotomy in his fencing
Yep.
is fun.
Yeah.
Look
it's
at
over.
oh.
This is over. But yeah, no, we saw some of the flexibility in Jong versus 410. Jong
Yeah.
had like a really crazy deep lunge and tried to yield through 4, but
Paul got there.
Paul got there, but still, ooh, nice touch from Park. It's over. Both fencers kind of know it too.
Yeah, you can tell by
they've
body
done
language.
the mental math, and it's like, okay, what do I do? Do I try to force it, potentially hurt myself, potentially hurt this guy?
Seems like they're both just let's
no
end this.
yell from
Yeah.
France. He knows he's
Yeah,
tired.
Gali.
Solid bout
Yo.
from France. Really awesome to see them stay in it through the
Yeah.
entire match with
Yeah.
Korea.
Fun
Really
swing.
feisty Korean team. Really sad for Korea. Attempted tactical substitution that didn't pan out whatsoever. France, however, did make a great tactical substitution. France back on top of the podium.
Hey, the boys.
Yeah. So congratulations to France. Congratulations to Korea for a great second place finish today.
Yeah.
And congratulations to the Netherlands for a bronze medal finish. Thanks for tuning in to watch this. This was our first team event that we've live streamed. We've got Nick Prince in the studio, Dylan Nollner, and myself, Ari Simmons. Where can people find you guys on social media outside of this?
Nick Prince on Instagram, Nick Prince Pod on TikTok, and convince Ari to stream foil next
Okay.
because that's what I want to do.
All right. And then you can obviously, you know where to follow us at Direct Elimination. You're here. And Dylan Nollner
At first intention,
on
Instagram only.
Yeah.
Let's
Insta
go.
only. But yeah, congrats to the French team. Thanks everyone for joining in. We're going to keep exploring with the different offerings that we can bring you for fencing coverage and just fencing media. So if you have anything you want to see that you haven't, please reach out to us on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, whatever. If you have my number, just reach out, give us your feedback, tell us what you want to see, tell us what you hate, and we really appreciate it. Actually, this is where we should be looking. My bad. Thanks for tuning in. This has been yet another live stream of a fencing competition from Theorist Studios in New York City. Have a great one, y'all.
Ciao. Auf Wiedersehen.
Arrivederci.
Although could have tuned out without sharing screens so people are actually looking at us. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been awesome, and thank you for getting involved in the chat, and we'll see you again next time.
See you in Schwabia.
Yo, Schwabia.